Welcome, everyone. Good morning, good evening, wherever you may be.
Good day to all.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, good day to all.
Good morrow.
Yeah. Oh, good morrow. Very nice. Nice. Going back in the day, quite a ways on that one.
Yeah. Oh man, what's going on with my lighting today? It's like pissing me off. Somebody's been I had it like perfect, and somebody's messed with it. So somebody's been using it somebody's been using it as a damn night light down here or something. So
yeah, no, that never happens. That never happens in a household in a household with kids that shit gets messed with.
Yeah, like five people.
That never happens. You know? Yeah, I know the feeling. Got a bunch of 20-year-olds in my house, and stuff is never in the same place where you left it for some damn reason. You know, it's craziness.
So I guess we'll don't give it just a minute here to kick things rolling.
Yeah, that'll work.
Do want to say happy anniversary to Chris and his wife Angela.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
last night was our fifth wedding anniversary, and I also want to tell everybody that I didn't go all Metallica and cut off all my hair. I actually have it pulled back in a ponytail right now because we were talking about it before the show. You know, we went out last night. We actually hit downtown Nashville for our fifth anniversary, and so I got my hair all did for the occasion, and like I say, I had so much goddamn hairspray in this shit. I'm basically wearing a helmet right now, so that's why it looks the way it does. So I woke up like this, so I just left it.
Yeah, I can't wait to freak everybody out in November and December, because that's when I don't like cut or shave anything. So I'm gonna probably
stick around for that. Yeah.
Yeah, more like a werewolf on here. Who's the new guy?
That'll work.
Be like, who's the new guy?
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, do want to give everyone a heads up on a special announcement that we just found out about yesterday. The VOP network is now launched on all Android devices. You can download that app and listen to us everywhere you are. If you don't want to log into a different app, you can just download that one and play live, and you'll hear us live every Saturday at 10 Central, 11 Eastern. Was it 8 Pacific, I believe?
Yeah.
So don't know about the mountain and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what time it is in New Zealand. I don't know what time it is in Turkey. Right. Of course, we got a friend on here who could tell us what time it is in Turkey if he decides to show up. So, but yeah, you actually can take the VOP USA Radio Network with you wherever you go now, thanks to our new Android app. So it's very cool, and it's just and as our creator tells us, it's just the tip of the iceberg and the first of many new things to come down the pike. So
yeah, so if anybody wants to know what it kind of looks like, I'll try to see if I can get it up here. I always think this.
There it is. There. To your left. To your left. Your left.
My other left.
Yeah, your other left.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
It's always confusing when you're like doing stuff like that because it's kind of mirrored.
Yeah.
So you got to go the opposite way of what you want. You got to go the opposite way of what you want to go. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then before you know it, you're doing John Cena motions.
Yeah.
Can't see me.
Unfortunately, when you're doing a live video show, that's not something you want. You want everybody to be able to see you. So
That is true. That is true.
and thanks to the weather, we had that shit happen 2 weeks ago, or I did anyway.
Right.
That sucked so much.
Sorry, I had to.
All right, man. Sorry for the yawn. Sorry for the yawn there.
I'm having to. I had to pencil in a birthday. I forgot. So sorry.
All right. That's fine. Like I say, sorry for the yawn there. I didn't get to bed till 2 a.m. I'm a little sleepy, but I'm all right. All right. Do you want to hop into the current events, buddy?
Well, we're going to jump into the birthdays like we usually do. I guess here.
Birthdays. All right.
So we'll lead off here. That's why I was wanting to add that one in before I got kicked off on it, and I forget it. So
cool.
So we had August the 29th, we had Tony McAlpine, guitarist for Planet X, Ring of Fire, and Cab. August the 30th, we had Mick Moody, former guitarist for Whitesnake. August 31st was a big day. We had Rudolph Schenker, guitarist for Scorpions. We had David Chastain, guitarist for Chastain. Then we had Richard Reb Beach, guitarist for Winger. We had Gene Hoglan, drummer for Testament, Dark Angel, Death Clock. Many of our favorite bands in that list lineup that he's played with. So, and we had skip over the first. We couldn't find really anybody on the first, so we skipped over to September 2nd. Dino Cazares, guitarist for Fear Factory. Phil Lipscomb, bassist for Taproot. Sam Rivers, bassist for Limp Bizkit. We had September 3rd. We had Eric Bell, guitarist for Thin Lizzy. Doug Pinnick, bassist and singer for King's X. We had Mike Wingren, drummer for Disturbed. And we had Balfar, vocalist for Windeer. Unfortunately, he passed away, or she passed away. I'm not sure which way that went because I'm not familiar with the band, but passed in 2004. September 4th, Blackie Lawless, a girl named Stephen Duran, singer and guitarist for Wasp. We had Kim Tayel, guitarist for Soundgarden. Sam Yaffa, bassist for Hanoi Rocks. Igor Cavalera, drummer for Sepultura and Go Ahead and Die. Lacey Sturm, she was the vocalist for Flyleaf. So happy birthday to all of those. And if I missed any, I apologize. Happy birthday to you anyway. And if any of our listeners out there are celebrating a birthday this week, if you had a good one, or will have a good one today.
Yeah, it's a Saturday. Go have a good one tonight. Go celebrate.
Yeah. And it's not good if you didn't start your day with us, though. Sorry.
That's right. Yeah. You can start your day with us and then end your day with a party, but just make sure that you don't party too hard. That way you can have a Sunday. So
that is true. All right. So looks like we had a little bit of a splurge in news stories this week.
Oh yeah, the news definitely splurged all over us. So
I don't know if we want to say it in that terms, but
well, you know, we'll let people's minds go where they will. You know, that's up to the individual. So yeah, you know, all you people with minds in the gutter, that's on you.
Yeah. Well, I happen to be one of those, evidently. So
I was going to say it's on me. I was about to say it's on me too. So. It's on me too. All right. Okay. Let's in the current events. Let's go ahead and start off with the, I guess, almost seemingly obligatory bad news, but we'll lead with that. This came out last Sunday, so this one's actually been sitting here in the hopper for a good little bit. According to this is over at blabbermouth.net. According to TMZ, longtime Iron Butterfly drummer Ron Bushey has died at the age of 79. The only member of Iron Butterfly to appear on all 6 of the band's albums. He passed away this morning, the 29th, at UCLA Medical Center in Los Angeles after a battle with esophageal cancer. Quote, Ron Bushey, our beloved legendary drummer of Iron Butterfly, has passed away peacefully with his wife Nancy by his side at 12:05 a.m. on August 29th at UCLA Santa Monica Hospital, the band said in a statement. All 3 of his daughters were also with him. He was a real fighter. He will be deeply missed, end quote. Iron Butterfly is the American psychedelic rock band best known for the 1968 hit In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, which features a punishing heavy drum solo from Bushey at its core. In July of 1968, Iron Butterfly released its debut LP, Heavy, and went on the road with the likes of The Doors, Cream, and The Who, while the album stayed on the Billboard chart for nearly a year. Their second release in July 1968 was the monumental In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. The 17-minute title track helped the album sell more than 30 million copies, and a 3-minute version of the song became a top 40 hit. Back in 2012, guitarist Larry Rhino Reinhardt, who was an Iron Butterfly during the 1970s and 80s, died. Later that year, Lee Dorman, who played bass on their seminal records, also passed away. Bushey is survived by his wife Nancy, their 3 daughters, and 6 grandchildren. In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida was famously covered by Slayer on the Less Than Zero soundtrack. I did not know that. I'm going to have to check that out.
I didn't either. That's cool.
Yeah. So rest in peace to Ron Bushey, dead at 79.
So was he the last of the original members of Iron Butterfly?
I think it didn't say that in the article, but that was kind of the context that I got. So yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah, I know when you started listing off all the names and they had passed away too, I was just kind of curious. So.
Yeah. So I'm not 100% sure because, like I say, it didn't come out and say it in those words, but yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. Yeah, so I think so.
All right.
Anybody out there listening who knows for sure or wants to quote unquote fact check us on that can do that. That'd be fine.
All right. Well, I'm gonna kick mine off from over here at Metal Hammer. News on Dave Ellefson, who was fired from Megadeth last May after accusations of grooming when sexually suggestive messages and explicit videos were posted on Twitter, had announced his next project, The Lucid. The band features Sponge vocalist Vinny Dombrowski, Bane Tango guitarist Drew Fortier, and Fear Factory drummer Mike Heller, alongside the 56-year-old bassist Ellefson. The band are due to release the first music from their 9-track self-titled debut album on September 8th. Oh, so that's coming up. Ellefson has said about the new musical direction, it's cool stuff, and it's very different. It's obviously not thrash metal, hence the name Lucid. The name kind of feels like what the music sounds like. Ellefson has denied the allegations of grooming, claiming the adult interactions were taken out of context and manipulated to inflict maximum damage to my reputation and my career and my family. The woman involved has since come forward to deny that she was underage at that time. So hopefully everything kind of works out for Dave. He's had a pretty rough go of it as of late, so hopefully it all works out for him. So
yeah, we'll check out any new music that drops on the 8th. You know, if there's a single that comes out or a music video or whatnot, we'll make sure that we post that at the Metalheads Unite Facebook page, so everybody who's a member over there can check that out. But anyone who's not a member can kind of, keep an eye out for that on their own. So, but it'll be interesting to see how it turns out. Based on the description, who knows what kind of music it's actually going to be, so. Other than thrash metal, we know it's not going to be that because they just said so.
We know it's
yeah, we know what it's not.
We know what it's not. Yeah, right.
Yeah, we know what it's not. So, but but truth be told, it is good to see David have another project. So I really do have a feeling he's gonna be okay after all this, especially since the other party involved in this incident has already come forward and basically, all but cleared his name.
Right.
But like we said when all this news broke, we don't condone marital infidelity, but that's between him and his wife or whatever. So, but as far as his career goes, I'm sure he'll be okay. So. All right. I'm sticking with Blabbermouth for a couple more. Backbeat Books has announced the October 1st, 2021 release of Van Halen, The Eruption and the Aftershock by Michael Christopher. The book is available now for pre-order in multiple formats. This is the epic story of how one of America's greatest bands weathered arguably the most dramatic soap opera in rock and roll history with songs that would weave themselves into the fabric of every musician who heard them, alongside an incendiary and unrivaled live show that wowed audiences worldwide. Featuring exclusive interviews with insiders, fans, and artists who were there to witness the rise, the tumult, and the making of legends, it's a story that has to be read to be believed. The book includes input from members of Black Sabbath, Allison Chains, Velvet Revolver, Pantera, Rat, Stryper, and many, many more, alongside never-before-seen photos and previously unpublished interviews with Van Halen alums Sammy Hagar, Michael Anthony, and Gary Cherone. Come the late 70s, the rock music landscape was littered with the bloated carcasses of bands who partied too hard, burned out, or became complacent in success. The door was open for something fresh, wild, and enrapturing. Enter Van Halen, made up of two Dutch-born brothers, one on drums and the other whose guitar was an extension of his very being, a bass player with a golden throat, and a frontman who made up for his lack of traditional singing ability with attitude and gravity-defying aerobatics on stage. They were unlike anything ever seen before. Alex and Edward Van Halen, Michael Anthony and David Lee Roth put a cap on one decade and exploded into the next with a brand of music not quite punk, not quite metal, and not at all subtle. They went from headlining backyard keggers to top billing at the U.S. Festival in front of 300,000 people within 5 years. Then, right when it looked like there wasn't an obstacle created to slow the mighty Van Halen ascent, the group imploded from the inside out, only to rebound stronger than ever, with ex-Montrose howler Sammy Hagar leading them to 4 consecutive #1 albums. Quote, "This book has been a passion project from the beginning, and you'll be hard-pressed to find another writer who has covered Van Halen so comprehensively over the years and with such reverence," end quote, says Christopher. But after the passing of Eddie Van Halen, the news cycle eventually moved on. As it says in the introduction, I wasn't ready to, and felt like there was still much to say, not just from myself, but the fans, musicians, and so many more who have been affected by Van Halen, end quote. Again, exhaustively researched, Van Halen, the Eruption, and the Aftershock examines the arrest of David Lee Roth on the Van Halen 2 tour, Oakland 1981, and what footage actually exists from the fabled shows. How close Roth cut making it to the U.S. Festival after falling ill in the Amazon jungle. What role Van Halen played in the 1985 PMRC hearings. The strangely ignored first public appearance of Van Hagar, and why the 2007 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction fell apart. Let's see. There's a bunch of quotes at the bottom from people who have apparently read the book already. Let's see. What do we got? We got Stephen Piercy from Rat. Amazing book. Only a few people will get Van Halen's insides. Phil Anselmo from Pantera. It's an explosive legacy. It's cemented. They kicked every ass that was in front of them. Let's see. Tony Iommi. There was only one Van Halen, and they were really, really good. William Duvall from Allison Chains. It was just such a steamroller, and those guys were doing that night after night, no matter what condition they were in. Huh. So there you go. We got a Van Halen book coming out in, approximately 4 weeks. So check that out. That ought to be interesting.
Yeah, I don't know how you felt about both versions of Van Halen. Well, there's actually another version of Van Halen that we don't talk about because it wasn't that good. But
yeah.
But the one with Gary Cherone wasn't very good. So, but anyway,
no.
To me, like I liked both versions. I liked Van Halen, and of course we like to say Van Hagar. I liked both versions of the band.
Mm-hmm.
But I always felt like I couldn't see David Lee singing any of Sammy's songs as the same way I couldn't see Sammy singing any of David Lee's songs. So it's kind of like one of those things. It's kind of one of those things where you liked both versions, but you couldn't. Like really, and like I've seen Van Hagar. I never seen Van Halen with David Lee Roth, but I did see with Sammy. And I will say that they only played maybe 2 songs that David Lee Roth had actually singing in. So I mean, they did do a lot more of their, his songs. So, and they also did a couple of his singles. Like I think they played "I Can't Drive 55" and stuff like that. But but yeah. So I mean, it was good. I mean, like I said, as long as they're not over. So I went and seen. 3 Days Grace, and of course with Adam Gontier gone, it wasn't the same. You know what I mean? It was I can't remember the guy's name now, but I know his brother for drummer, guitarist, or something. But anyway, he came from My Darkest Days, and like him singing Adam's songs just doesn't sound right to me because they have two different style of vocals. So it's kind of hard. So it's easy for Jesse Leach to come along and sing Howard's songs because they're similar. I mean, don't get me wrong, Jesse doesn't have the range that Howard does, but they're still similar enough to where Jesse could pull it off,
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where the
Well,
key was that Sammy and David were not that similar in vocals.
right. Yeah. So I mean, it was basically like you say, it was basically two separate entities of the same band,
Right.
and it, you know, and to echo what you said, I liked both versions. I think I probably liked David Lee Roth's version more because during Van Halen's earlier, albums and stuff, they were a little bit more metal,
Mm-hmm.
even though I don't really consider like it said in the story, they're not quite punk, not quite metal.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, when Eddie Van Halen got to play his solos, I mean those solos. I mean the solo in "Hot for Teacher." I mean, get out of here with that guitar solo, And obviously everybody knows, everyone has heard Eruption, so I preferred the David Lee Roth era Van Halen, over the Sammy Hagar era Van Halen. But that's not to say that Sammy Hagar's version didn't put out some good songs, because it did. But you make me choose, I'm gonna take Roth era Van Halen, and
Well,
I always wondered what Eddie Van Halen could have done in a quote unquote true heavy metal band,
right.
because Van Halen had their musical taste kind of like change. It was like, I don't know. It was, I wouldn't say all over the map, but it wasn't, one straight line that they went on. So, so I always kind of wondered what Eddie Van Halen could have done in a heavier band. Cause I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that guy's talent was matched by very few.
Right. Like I said, I think the reason a lot of people like the David Lee Roth version better too is because David Lee Roth was more entertaining and flamboyant. You know what I'm saying? He kind of
True.
put a little exclamation point on everything else that was coming along with the band. So I
Right.
think that's like another reason why a lot of people prefer Dave over Sam. Sammy was more, it's all business. You know what I mean? So it wasn't,
Mm-hmm.
you know, he decided he was going to have fun later in life when developing
Right.
tequila and shit.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No shit. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sammy waited for his
Which
Cabo Wabo days.
Yeah, which is a crazy story. So if you ever look at that, I remember reading something about a year or two ago where he had sold that for like millions and millions of dollars, and then him and somebody else
Uh-huh.
teamed up and they're actually making a different tequila now. So he's fixing to build another tequila. I'm just like, this dude just said, oh man, it's just crazy. He can go around and just build up brand name tequilas and sell them for millions of dollars. And
Hey, whatever
I mean,
works, man.
the guy looks good for 60 something years old. I give him that.
Yeah,
So
yeah, he
maybe,
does.
maybe,
Yeah, he
maybe
does.
that, maybe the tequila's the fountain of youth or something that we don't know about.
Or he's just pickled.
That's true. That's true. I'm
Yeah.
gonna stick. I'm gonna stick with Metal Hammer. Metallica drummer Lars Ulrich has shared the news that his sons Lane and Miles have formed their very own band called Type A Houston. I'm gonna hope I said that right. But the brothers announced the project earlier this month with the launch of an official Instagram account, which features clips of the pair rehearsing. Sharing footage from the page, Lars has taken to his own Instagram profile to spread the word of the newly formed duo. Within the clip, 20-year-old Lane takes bass and vocal duties, while the 24-year-old brother Miles follows in the footsteps of his father on drums. Although you might expect the offspring of one of the world's greatest thrash metal bands to carry on the flame of the genre, uh, Type A Houston are very different. From what we can gather from the brief few clips, the pair vigorously channel the buzz-laden, riff-centric sounds of like Royal Blood, while incorporating the savvy, high-spirited vocal prowess of Jack White. As a matter of fact, this isn't the first time Proud Dad Lars has shared his son's music either. In April of 2020, the drummer shared the pair's heavy take of the Beatles tune, Eleanor Rigby, which he described as an insane 3-minute blue chair crazy garage rock version. Oh, that's a mouthful. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Yeah, it is.
speaking to Rolling Stone about the cover, Ulrich declared, "Obviously, there's been some incredible versions of Eleanor Rigby along the way, but I'm pretty sure there's never been one that had this kind of sound, this kind of feel, this kind of energy and madness to it. I was like, you know what, boys, you done me proud." So yeah, we'll try to check them out too to see what kind of music they put together.
Yeah.
Like I said, again, it's not going to be thrash, obviously.
Right. Yeah. And I'll be completely honest. This is just me personally. I'm not going to speak for anybody else but myself. But based on the description, Royal Blood with the vocal stylings of Jack White, I'm not optimistic. Like I say, that's just me. That's just me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can kind of see. I can kind of compare because I think Royal Blood's a two-piece band too, so that may be why they're getting their sound from there. But as we kind of know, it's hard for two-piece bands to put together some heavy stuff unless you're Spirit Adrift, of course, which we didn't know.
Right. I was just about to say that. Yeah.
Of course, I didn't know they were even a two-piece till last week, or a week before, or something like that.
So. Yeah, and Spirit Adrift is doing just fine.
Oh yeah.
They are doing just fine. They're proof that it absolutely can be done. So
right.
So you can't say that it can't, because it can. All right, I've got my last one over here at Blabbermouth. ESP Guitars has announced 5 new additions to their signature series for Alexi Laiho, the acclaimed guitarist and frontman of Finnish metal bands Children of Bodom and Bodom After Midnight, who passed away at the end of 2020. The Alexi Ripped will be offered from the band's LTD, E2, and ESP Custom Shop series, while the Alexi Hexed will be available in LTD and ESP Custom Shop versions. Quote, "We'd been working closely with Alexi on the development of the new Hexed and Ripped guitars for over a year before his passing," says Tony Rouser, ESP Director of Artist Relations. He was very excited about the new models, which are the first new additions to the Alexi Laiho signature series since 2013. "We're grateful to have this opportunity to honor Alexi's memory and celebrate his immense legacy with these new models, which will be available to fans for years to come." End quote. All 5 of the new Alexi Laiho models are presented in the familiar offset V shape of Alexi's signature ESP guitars, with neck-through body construction at 25.5-inch scale, and feature a 3-piece thin U-shaped maple neck with natural satin finish for smooth and fast playability, along with alder body wings. They also offer ebony fingerboards scalloped from frets 19 to 24 with 24 extra jumbo frets, sawtooth inlays, and glow-in-the-dark side markers and chrome hardware. The Alexi Hexed, available in LTD and ESP versions, comes in purple fade finish with light purple pinstripes with matching back and sides. This guitar's sound is powered by a single EMG HC F-H2 passive pickup with volume control. The ceramic high-gain pickup offers excellent presence and clarity with a punchy response. The LTD Alexi Hexed includes Grover tuners and a double-locking Floyd Rose 1000 bridge. The ESP Alexi Hexed, built by hand one at a time in the ESP Custom Shop in Tokyo, includes Goto locking tuners, ESP strap locks, and a double-locking Floyd Rose original bridge, as well as an ESP MM04 active boost switch with adjustable EQ settings and up to 18 decibels of boost. Both models include a deluxe ESP hard shell case. The Alexi Ripped, available in LTD, E2, and ESP versions, is being offered in purple fade satin finish with painted black satin ripped pinstripes. This guitar is the first Alexi Laiho signature series model with more than one pickup. In addition to the EMG HZF-H2 bridge humbucker, it includes an EMG HZS2 passive stacked single coil in the neck position, offering just the right mix of mids with a clear and flow end. The LTD Alexi Ripped offers components including Grover tuners, a double-locking Floyd Rose 1000 bridge, and an inset 3-way pickup selector. Built at the ESP factory in Japan, the E2 Alexi Ripped components include Goto locking tuners, ESP strap locks, a double-locking Floyd Rose original bridge, and the ESP MM04 active boost switch. The ESP Alexi Ripped is handcrafted at the ESP Custom Shop and also includes Goto locking tuners, ESP strap locks, a double-locking Floyd Rose original bridge, and the ESP MM04 active boost switch. Born in Espoo, Finland on April 8, 1979, Laiho was best known as the lead guitarist, lead vocalist, and primary songwriter of Children of Bodom, the melodic death metal band he founded in 1993. Laiho has been honored by many publications, including Guitar World, Metal Hammer, and Total Guitar, as one of the best metal guitarists of all time, well known for a combination of ferocious speed and highly melodic note selection. He joined the ESP Guitars artist He joined the ESP Guitars Artist Endorsee roster in 2002, and ESP released his first Signature Series guitar models in 2006. Between 2003 and 2019, Children of Bodom had a string of successive albums that hit #1 in their native Finland and were widely popular around the world among fans of metal and guitar virtuosity. Laiho died on December 29, 2020 at the age of 41. Detailed info and specs on the entire Alexei Laiho Signature Series is available on the ESP website and at espguitars.com. And if you go to the story here at Blabbermouth, there's some pictures of each one of the guitars, and they're badass looking. So if you want to go check those out, go to the blabbermouth.net or go to the ESP, go to the or go to the espguitars.com website.
Awesome. Guitars everywhere.
I'm telling you.
Seems like we do a story about that like almost every other week at least. So.
Right. Yeah. Well, at least these ones aren't heading to auction.
Well, that's true. That's true. So I got two small stories here from over at Metal Injection. I'm gonna do those real.
All right.
Since they're small, I'll put them kind of together, I guess.
All right.
Flesh God Apocalypse vocalist and guitarist Francesco Paoli was severely injured in a rock climbing incident on August the 21st. Paoli is undergoing surgery today, which I think was Thursday, to help rectify those injuries, and says he can't wait to get back on the road. We wish Paoli all the best today with the surgery and during his ongoing recovery. After several days of successful treatment, Francesco is getting ready for his surgery tomorrow. Thanks so much, everyone, for the insane amount of messages, love, and support you guys send his way. It truly means a lot to him, and he literally can't wait to meet each and every one of you on the road next year to give all that energy back. We will keep you posted on his recovery and when they go back on the road. So.
Yep.
So this one was kind of, not really surprising, but I guess kind of, because I guess I don't know if I didn't know, but maybe some people did. But celebrity chef Guy Fieri has shown his metal fandom time and time again over the years, from showing up at a Slipknot concert to appearing on Sammy Hagar's TV show with Tool vocalist Maynard James Keenan. Now, in a recent interview with Blink 182's Mark Hoppus, Fieri reveals he's also a massive Metallica fan. Quote, I'm a Metallica junkie, Pantera, Rage Against the Machine, AC/DC, I mean, you name it. There was just something about living in Los Angeles and living down in Long Beach back in the day, and Rage coming out and just getting all of that energy. End quote. Fieri nots that his kids are also fans, but his wife isn't. Quote, my wife won't let me play at house parties. I don't get to necessarily always jam to Rage, but the awesome thing is both of my sons are huge fans, so whenever mom's not around, we get to play Rage. End quote. Now we just need a video of Fieri and his kids going nuts at home to some Rage Against the Machine, which he may not, because that would be evidence, and his wife probably would get pissed. So,
yeah, that's I can actually relate to that a little bit, but I saw that story, and the only thing I will say is that someone needs to tell Guy Fieri to tuck in his thumb.
Oh yeah, right. I've seen that too. I'm like, yeah. We love you too, man. But that's yeah, tuck in the thumb, buddy. Tuck it in. All right, so I will actually, for my next one, I'll actually stay at metalinjection.net. Let's see. Yesterday, August 28th, 2021. Of course, so that was last Saturday, but I actually found this after the show, so I've actually been kind of sitting on this for a week. But so this is technically old news. But yesterday, August 28th, 2021, Rammstein frontman Till Lindemann was arrested in his hotel room and brought to a police station for questioning. Summa Inferno reports that Lindman's solo project was set to perform at the McLaren for Homeland Festival in Tver today, Sunday, August 29th, despite COVID-19 restrictions for mass gatherings in place in Russia. It is believed this was the reason for his detainment. Lindman's manager, Einar Ryband, is also facing charges, having entered the country as a tourist. However, authorities believe that he is an organizer of the festival and, if convicted, could face deportation and permanent ban from the country.
No word on if Lindman will actually perform tonight. He has another performance scheduled for September 4th and 5th at Moscow's Spasskaya Bashня Festival in Red Square. Also, Lindman's recent NFT sale is causing a bit of trouble for the Rammstein singer. Part of the NFT was a music video recorded at the Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg, Russia. While Lindman taped there with permission, the NFT sale was outside of the terms of the agreement, according to a report by DW. Rammstein and Russia have an interesting history. A fan of the band was sentenced to jail for sharing their controversial Pussy music video. A few years prior, two members of the band kissed on stage in protest of the country's harsh LGBT laws. So, and then I will admit there is an update at the top of the story that says Lindman has only been questioned by police, not arrested. So I am actually going to keep an eye on this story because it seems like it's kind of developing from the initial report that came out last Saturday that said he was arrested. It seems like he was only questioned by police. And then if there's any follow-up as to what happens after, I'll keep you guys up to date on that. So, but yeah, as it says in the story, Rammstein and Russia are kind of like oil and water. They really don't seem to mix too well. So who knows? I'll keep you guys updated.
All right, I got another quick one here from Metal Injection. I didn't realize I had another one there. I would have done all three of them together, but
all right.
I don't know how to pronounce her first name. It's maybe Inge Ginsberg, the 99-year-old Holocaust survivor whose list of incredible accomplishments include fronting a death metal band in her 90s, but she has passed away. According to the New York Times, Ginsberg passed on July 20th due to heart failure. You likely know Ginsberg as a vocalist for the Tritone Kings, who caught the eye and ear of the metal world after his disappearance on Switzerland's Got Talent and in the Eurovision Song Contest. That's kind of weird for him to just now be telling us that he passed away in July, but whatever. I guess that's.
I know that is weird. I think I saw that story this morning too, and I thought that was weird.
Yeah, so I don't know, but maybe that's just the way they do things over there. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
COVID got across the seas faster than her death news, I guess.
Right? Yeah, it's weird. All right, I'm going to move over to. Okay, okay. It popped up on my screen that I lost connection for a second. Okay. All right, I guess I'm still here.
No, you're still there.
I was going to say, this shit better not happen again. There's not a cloud there's barely a cloud
right.
in the sky here. There's barely a cloud in the sky here today, so that shit better not happen again. All right. 11 days after a leaked group chat showed the members of symphonic power metal band Gloryhammer using racist terms and sexist innuendos, the band, as well as keyboardist Christopher Bose, who was also the singer in Ailstorm, have finally issued statements directly addressing the matter. Bose went first by posting a photo of a handwritten letter on his personal social media accounts with a link to a transcription blaming the delay on quote-unquote legal advice to maintain radio silence while all details were being investigated, end quote. After apologizing directly, saying, quote, words cannot express how remorseful I am to have hurt you with my actions, end quote, Bose explained that the band had built a, quote, private puerile culture for ourselves of always trying to one-up each other, end quote, with increasingly offensive messages, and that they justified the behavior by telling themselves they didn't actually believe those things. He added that the behavior is still unacceptable in any context and that he'd realized as much on his own and at the urging of friends since the group chat dated 2017. Gloryhammer's statement, which followed a short time later, echoed Bose's sentiments, saying that the joke was wholly unacceptable, without saying so directly, but presumably addressing the accusations of abusive behavior leveled against bassist James Cartwright by a former girlfriend. The band referenced false claims that will be addressed and passed on to the relevant authorities. Both parties expressed a sentiment that they accept that some fans will find their behavior unforgivable, and that none of you are obligated to give me another chance, quote unquote, Bose, but they hope that most of their fan base would accept their apologies and that they all strive to be better people. Both the leaked group chat and abuse allegations surfaced in the Twitter comments of Glory Hammer's post last Sunday, August 22nd, in which the band announced that they had fired vocalist Thomas Winkler for unspecified reasons. The chat and allegations quickly spread throughout both the band's fans and the media. So, kind of interesting to see what's going to come of that. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't looked into it myself. The original posts that were supposedly so offensive and derogatory, but apparently it's gotten to the point where public apologies are being issued, and I guess lawyers are going to get involved. So this may be an ongoing story that I'll kind of try to keep an eye on as well, and I'll pass along any updates that may be forthcoming.
Well, hopefully it pans itself out and it's not in the news for a long period of time. So we hate hearing. I hate reporting like stuff like that. And it seems to be more common, as we're getting into a lot of these news stories. We've seen it seems to be a common thread. So
yeah, and it did say in the story that all of this stuff was dated back in 2017. So who knows what's kind of transpired between then and now. Right. If all of the negative messages did kind of limit themselves to the timeline talked about in the story to where they stopped in 2017 and they've kind of matured and moved on, hopefully this isn't something that will linger for them. And whoever it was they were talking about, whether it be directly or indirectly, hopefully they can kind of smooth things over with those particular individuals.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to move over to Loudwire. Awards were handed out, including one saluting Wargasm as the best UK breakthrough band, but the group's experience at the 2021 Heavy Music Awards will also have one other notable memory, as bassist Milky Way's performance with Trash Boat's Toby Duncan reportedly got the awards Twitch stream shut down for 3 days when Way's nipples became visible through her chain top. It was a moment that apparently didn't faze the event's organizers or some of the fellow performers, but ended up causing a strike by the awards streamer over showing nudity. Way tweeted after the ceremony, quote, "I would say I'm sorry for getting the Heavy Music Awards Twitch stream shut down for 3 days because of my nipples, but I'm simply not," end quote. Then adding, quote, "Man, I can't believe my nipples are so powerful," end quote. Trash Boat's male vocalist Toby Duncan pointed out the double standard, responding to Wave's tweet saying, quote, "We both had our nipples out, so they can take that double standard and get into the fucking ocean," end quote. Trash Boat's Twitter account also tweeted the hashtag #FreeTheNip. Wave's outfit for the performance was a chain designed top, while Duncan sported a sheer fishnet shirt with both musicians' nipples visible as they moved about during the performance. The Heavy Music Awards also appeared to be final with Wave's performance and appearance, stating, "If anything, it just makes us love Milky Way even more. Every aspect of all the performances tonight made us proud of this scene and excited for its future." After a wealth of responses, Way weighed in again, adding, "Seriously, the last thing I'll say on this is that I just wanted to wear a nice outfit that I felt good in for an important event. And if you think that needs policing, then and that I'm the reason your night was ruined, then I will straight up fight you." She later continued, "Police your expectations, not women's bodies." Way also showcased the top that she wore for the ceremony, giving credit to the designer with a link to her other works. Meanwhile, Duncan shared the outfits he and Way wore during the performance on Instagram, stating, "If algorithm bans a stream for girls' nipples, not boy nipples, then it's clapped and you should throw it into the fucking sea," end quote. Aside from the commotion over the nipple bearing incident, the Heavy Music Awards did honor some of the best in heavy music over the past year. Bring Me the Horizon won Best Album at the 5th annual ceremony for their post-human survival horror release, and they also took home Best UK Band honors. Enter Shikari's Rue Reynolds received Best Production for his work on the band's Nothing Is True and Everything Is Possible. Meanwhile, Nova Twins received Best Video honors for Taxi. Other winners include Spirit Box for Best International Breakthrough Band and Ghost Main for Best International Band. The night also featured performances from Hot Milk and Sleep Token, which I think Spirit Box may have been the only band I've ever heard of in all that story. So,
Right.
so,
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe that's some of the bands we need to check out or something. I know Ghost Mean I think used to be kind of a rapper, but he was in a metal band and then became a rapper. And now he's trying to go back to metal. I think so. That may be kind of interesting, but
Oh, well, that's news to me. I didn't know that.
yeah. So my son follows him. That's the only reason I know that.
Oh, okay. All right.
Nip Slip seemed to be pretty metal to me, but I don't know. Evidently, they've
Yeah.
never been to a concert with a chick on some guy's shoulders flashing the bands. So
Yeah. I mean, it's so weird to me. Of course, this, well, I was going to say the award show was over in the UK, but if it was streamed on Twitch, then it would have been
right,
worldwide. But it's so weird to me what stuff on the internet is okay, but then, like a woman's breasts are like, oh nope, that's where we draw the line. We saw some titties and we can't have that.
right.
But I mean, I just don't I just don't get it.
Well, I mean,
I probably never will. I just don't. I mean, people can almost say whatever they want on the internet
mhm,
with practically no repercussions. I mean, granted, if you go on a racist or homophobic rant, people are going to tear you apart, and you'll get banned, and rightfully so, because you're just an asshole. But it just seems strange to me what's allowed, and then all of a sudden, everything is pushed to the line, and then the line always seems to be a woman's chest. I don't get it. I just don't
yeah,
get it.
yeah.
It
I
just
don't either. So, I mean, you can even like regular TV you see now. I watched a show about my mom was watching it, and then it showed some guy walking through like a bedroom and it showed his ass. I mean, this was like ABC or NBC television,
mm-hmm.
and I'm just like, wow, you would not be able to see that when I grew up on
Right.
ABC or NBC. So
Yeah.
evidently, I mean, some and some, uh, I guess, I'm trying to say avenues that it's allowed, but it's not allowed in others. That don't make sense to me either. It's just like it should be. It should be across the board. It'd be different if if Milky Way was out there and purposely did that, but it was part of her outfit, and her
Mm-hmm.
nipples probably wasn't because I mean it said nip slip, so evidently
Yeah.
it slipped from where it was supposed to be. I mean, so it may be different if they purposely did it, but they're not. She didn't purposely do anything like that, so it's kind of odd to me why they couldn't just throw a black bar up or something.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know, but I mean, it's just, I guess it becomes technically those, quote unquote slippery slopes, but at the
Yeah,
same time, like you talked about, I mean, you can see some dude's ass on just regular old primetime network TV.
hmm
I guess the slope is already slippery enough, because I remember back, and I never watched the show, but I don't know if you remember the show NYPD Blue. I don't know if you remember that
yeah,
show.
yeah.
Well, I remember reading in the news when that show came on about the first time that one of the cops in the show said the word shit.
Oh yeah,
They were talking about, oh my god, it's the first time that expletive will be allowed on network TV. And at the time, I was just like, what the hell's the big deal? But looking back on it now, it's like really, why was it such a big deal then? And I mean, hell, I mean, South Park. I've even heard the F word on. I've heard the word fuck on shows on FX.
yeah.
So
Well, I mean,
and
American
I know,
Horror Story. American Horror Story is one of the main ones that do that. So
right. So I mean, it's just so the I mean the slope has been slippery for a while, and So so that's basically kind of proves my point. I mean, I
Right.
think it does anyway. I mean, the slope has been slippery enough. Why? And swear words don't bother me. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. I mean, goddamn. But so so I mean, I don't care about that. And I know some people do, and that's all well and good. But not to get off on a rant or a sidebar or anything, but I think that all of these shows that have these TV MA ratings, I think they should be uncensored anyway, because that's what the
Right.
TV ratings were supposed to be for. That's what all this PMRC shit was wanting when they first started all their crap. They wanted it labeled so everybody knew what the content was. Okay, this is what the content is. We just want everybody to know that this is the content. So if the content exists and the label is there, the content shouldn't be covered up or taken out because you got your warning label. I don't know. Like I say, this could go off on a tangent. I know, but it just.
So they should take the award show, put a TV-14 label on it, and go about their business. So, I mean, at age 14, how many 14-year-olds probably hadn't seen a nipple by now?
Right, exactly. I mean, that's what I say. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I mean, and like I said, it was let's just say it was an accident for one.
I don't know why they don't do that just to cover their ass in case something happens. That's what I'm saying. It's like, why don't you just throw that on there, and that way a parent or whoever's watching it with their kid could be like, okay, well they can decide on whether they can watch it or not, and then
that's exactly what what I thought the TV rating system was supposed to be for. Like, if something is rated TV MA, I don't want to hear the word fuck bleeped out.
Right.
Because if it's edited and it's censored, it shouldn't have the TV MA rating. So if an album, if a particular album has suggestive content on it and it has that fucking PMRC warning on it, I don't want it edited or censored in any way. It doesn't make any sense. You shouldn't have the censorship if it's got the label on it, because that's what those cunts wanted. They wanted the label for the content. Leave the content alone.
Yeah.
So I guess that's to make a long story short, I'll just leave it right there. So
leave the content alone.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Leave my content alone. You don't like my content, go watch or go listen to something else. So, in the immortal words of George Carlin, if you don't like it, change the station. So,
yeah, I mean, that's true.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm going to piggyback. I'm going to follow you over to Loudwire as well. This story is funny, gross, and serious at the same time. I don't know if you saw this, but if you did, you may know where I'm going with this. A renegade concert pooper is on the loose in California. We repeat, a renegade concert pooper is on the loose in California. As reported by dozens of fans, a phantom of the night emptied their bowels in the pit at a Turnstile show in Santa Cruz, resulting in the doo-doo being smeared onto the very stage the hardcore band was performing on. In support of their excellent new album, Glow On, Turnstile played a Vets Hall on August 30th with Show Me the Body, Never Ending Game, and Gulch. At some point during Turnstile's set, human shit ended up on the side of the stage, perhaps from the shoe of a stage diver who stepped in a fresh pile while dancing in the pit. Twitter has been abuzz about the Turnstile concert pooper. Internet sleuths have been attempting to identify the individual who released a kraken in the pit, but footage of the concert posted on YouTube doesn't place a spotlight on any suspects. And then there is a video of Turnstile playing some of their concert on the inset on the in the story, and then there are some embedded tweets. Let's see, we've got one that says someone shitted in the Turnstile pit last night, no lie. Someone says, attention 40831, I can't believe this, but yes, human shit ended up on stage last night during Turnstile. As hilarious as this is, it's also disgusting and extremely unsafe. Please, if you have any idea of who it was, please let me know, as that person should not be allowed at shows ever again. And then someone says, I have very big interest in the shit on stage at the Turnstile show story. I just beat the did you shit during Turnstile allegations. Somebody else posted. And let's see. This one says, as someone who has embarrassingly shit their pants in the past, even had some recent close calls, I stand with the Turnstile show shitter. If you've never come close to shitting your pants, God bless your amazing bowels. Some of us aren't so lucky. Literally, shit happens. And then it says, if you have any information on the Turnstile concert pooper, please share on your Twitter timeline so justice can be served. So, like I say, it was funny. It was funny, gross, and actually kind of serious at the same time. Because it is pretty. No one wants to get any of that shit on them, literally and figuratively. So,
yeah, I can't believe they smeared that. I can't believe they smeared that story everywhere.
I know it was a shitty thing to do.
I know. Stinking up the news feed.
Womp womp.
I know, right? All right. I'll stick with Loudwire over here too. It's no secret that Axl Rose had a bit of a reputation for showing up on stage late at Guns N' Roses concerts back in the day. Back in the day, he did that shit 2 years ago when I seen him. So, drummer Matt Sorum explained that the frontman's tardiness actually benefited their shows in a way. Quote, when I talk about being backstage and we're 2 hours late and I'm frustrated, once we got up there, it was just all rock and roll, Sorum told Billboard. We were just throwing down because there was a lot of frustration, anger, and anxiety, but it brought the show to a whole new level. The drummer continued, the crowd was fired up because they were angry that we were late, but once we got out there, some nights were just absolutely on fire. Some nights really almost were on fire, particularly one in Montreal in 1992, when Guns N' Roses went on tour with Metallica. James Hetfield was burned in a pyrotechnics accident during their set, which resulted in it being cut short. Rose was then several hours late for their performance and also cut it short, which sparked a riot. Regardless, Sorum still looks back on his days in the band fondly. I take great pride in that period of my life. It's just a great gift that I was there at that time with that particular lineup, he reminisced. However, that doesn't necessarily mean the drummer would join GNR guys on the road again if they were given the opportunity. He and his wife, Ace Harper, just recently welcomed their first child, which God bless him, being that age and getting your first one. That's whew. Sorum has a new autobiography on the way titled Double Talking Jive, True Rock and Roll Stories from the Drummer of Guns N' Roses, The Cult and Velvet Revolver, which will delve into his life as a musician in those bands. That book will be out September 7th via Rare Bird. So wow. So I guess there was some good energy, I guess, from that. Other than that, I don't see the benefit. I don't know. I know when they came out, they were about 45 to an hour late whenever I watched them at the festival. Louder Than Life, I believe, is the one they were at. I know they were about an hour late there, and I know a lot of people were just like already walking off. They just like, fuck this shit, I'm out. So I won't see them that bad, I guess. But I mean, they did put on a good show once they got out there. But still, that's making people wait. They already been waiting all day for the main event, and you're the headliner, and then you're late. It's kind of gets people in a bad mood. So
a little bit.
Yeah. Especially when it takes another hour to walk back to your car. So
and an hour to get out of the parking lot.
Yeah. Well, luckily we parked away from the venue, and then we parked in somebody's yard that said, "Hey, you park here for $10 or whatever." We're like, "Yeah." Cool. So we just parked there. Okay. Yeah. They said, "Hey, we're going to be out here on the front porch listening to it from here, drinking beer. So don't worry about your stuff." Like, all right, cool. So nothing was messed with. When we got back, everything was.
Well, there you go. All right, I've got one more story, and this one is over at Loudwire also, and this one was actually from last Saturday, but it came out after the show, so I wanted to include that this week. So it's late, but we're going to talk about it anyway because it's one of our favorite bands. Everyone knows. Better late than never. Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, this was from August 28th, 2021. So it was last Saturday. Yet it was Saturday afternoon last week. Everyone knows that Slipknot's second ever Iowa was the furthest thing from a sophomore slump. After breaking into the scene with their debut album in 1999, a tsunami of pressure was cooking for the band as they got back into the studio to work on their next release. They were now superstars, and it happened quickly and unexpectedly. It doesn't take a rocket scientist or a music theorist to point out that Iowa is the Knot's darkest, angriest, and heaviest work of art to date. It's typically the top pick among the maggots who have been feeding off the sinister mood of the songs for the last 18 years. The Nine were in absolute terrible shape, both mentally and physically. They had more money in their bank accounts, which fueled their drug and alcohol addictions. The quickly growing level of recognition that followed the release of their debut forced them into pits of depression and anxiety, which further provoked their substance dependence. Though Volume 3, The Subliminal Verses, would go on to reach number 2 on the Billboard 200, and All Hope Is Gone, Point 5, The Gray Chapter, and We Are Not Your Kind would peak at the very top of the chart, there will only ever be one masterpiece as disastrously incredible as Iowa. In honor of the album's 19th anniversary, again, which was 1 week ago, here are 10 facts you may not have known unless you are a diehard maggot. Number 1, fucking lyrics. The word fuck appears approximately 38 times throughout all of the songs on the album. Hey, we told you it was angry. Number 2, All Hail the Goat. The 2001 album cover depicts an animated goat head, but the 2011 anniversary edition features an actual photo of the side of the goat's head resting on nails against a wooden wall. The artwork is credited to Sean Clown Crahan. We don't know where he got the dead goat from, and we're not sure we want to. The album was offered for free by several record stores in the UK in 2001 to customers who brought a live goat with them, probably best to shield their eyes from the album cover. Number 3, it ruled the charts. As heavy as it is, the Knot's second work debuted in the top 10 of the charts in 9 countries and peaked at number 3 in the US. It's since been certified platinum in the US, UK, and Canada. Number 4, Tragedy nearly made it flop. Iowa came out on August 28, 2001. While it did sell initially, tragedy struck the U.S. when the events of 9/11 happened just a few weeks later. The country went into shock, and understandably, many people weren't focused on music. Quote, what people don't realize is that as popular as Iowa was, that album didn't sell. That album didn't sell at all after 9/11, end quote, Corey Taylor told The Ringer. Quote, we all kind of felt, if you were a heavy band, you felt the heat of what happened with 9/11. So not only were you unable to mourn with your country for what had happened, but now it's like, Jesus Christ, what do we do? End quote. Eventually, the momentum picked back up, and people even began finding solace in the catharsis the album brought them. Number 5, the 666 Lucky Maggots prior to its release. A few months before the album came out, Slipknot offered a one-track CD featuring the Heretic Anthem for free to the first 666 people who went to Roadrunner's website when the contest was announced. Number 6, producer Ross Robinson was broken before production. Like, literally, right before production was about to start, Ross Robinson endured an accident on his dirt bike and broke his back. But it didn't stop him. He channeled his physical pain into the making of the album as the band used their emotional pain. They don't call him the godfather of nu metal for nothing. Number 7, Corey Taylor physically hurt himself in the studio on purpose. There are dedicated frontmen, and then there is Corey Taylor. The singer wanted to inflict pain upon himself in order to deliver the most brutal, intense vocal performance that he possibly could. During the recording of the self-titled track, he undressed in the vocal booth, cut himself with a broken candle, and made himself vomit. Don't ever say he didn't give it his all. Number 8, Sid Wilson's emotional breakdown on 515. Sid Wilson's grandfather passed away while the band were in the studio, and he wasn't able to attend the services. He went in to record the opening track, 515, and had an emotional breakdown. Clown told Revolver, quote, I come in the next day, Ross is weeping, puts his arms around me. I've been waiting for you, Clown. You're one of the few people that's going to understand this. This is my favorite part of the record. It's the realest part of the record, end quote. Number 9, History of Gently. Clown actually wrote the song prior to Slipknot, and it first appeared on their debut release, Mate, Feed, Kill, Repeat. Taylor altered the lyrics slightly when the band re-recorded it for Iowa by taking a few phrases out. And then there's a there's actually a side-by-side comparison of Gently from Mate Feed Kill Repeat and the audio from the Gently song from Slipknot. So if you want to compare the two, they're on there. And last but not least, number 10, it got Stone Sour back together. The members of Slipknot still reflect on the making of Iowa to this day, citing how much they couldn't stand each other during that time. Everyone was experiencing so many different personal atrocities that they were at each other's throats. So Corey Taylor decided to get back with Stone Sour, who had called it quits in 1997, and Jim Root joined him. Quote, there was a lot of screaming and a lot of animosity, and that's one of the big reasons we went and restarted Stone Sour. We had to get the fuck away, and I realized I had been giving up too much power, too much control. So when we did Stone Sour, I did a lot of the production and arranging, which was good for my head, but it didn't fix the problem, end quote, Taylor told Revolver. And it doesn't go into any further details about how those problems, quote unquote, got fixed, but who knows? I guess that's another story for another day. But so those are 10 facts you may not have known about Iowa that celebrated its 19th anniversary last Saturday.
Nice.
So there we are.
I was trying to find. I actually had a printed out a story, and it's kind of like running together, so I can't figure out how it like goes together now. So I had a paper jam or something in the middle of printing.
Uh-oh.
It decided it wanted to print everything 2 and 3 times. So now I can't figure out what's what. But I'm trying to find it.
Oh man, that sucks.
Real quick. Yeah, it is what it is, man.
Gotta love it.
Right, so I got this one though. Yeah, so I'm still with Loudwire on this one. Iron Maiden's Bruce Dickinson is not just a world-renowned heavy metal frontman, airline captain, author, entrepreneur, and businessman, but a weapon force in the sport of competitive fencing. Excited that lightsabers are legitimately a sanctioned element of fencing now. He has high hopes of one day dueling with the band's beloved undead mascot Eddie on stage with that weapon popularized by the Star Wars film franchise. The singer's fencing abilities have been incredibly useful when it comes to concert performance. His agile, quick-footed movements are the hallmarks of any man wields a sword point in concerts, usually to spar with Eddie during the Trooper, while swinging it around on his own during the Klansman. At least that's how it went down on the Legacy of the Beast tour over the last couple of years. In an interview about Maiden's new album, Senjutsu, Dickinson capped off a conversation with Forbes by offering a preview at what fans could potentially see on stage when the Metal Legends return to the road in support of their 17th album. When asked if he will be fighting a samurai version of Eddie, who's depicted on the Senjutsu album cover, wielding a sword, Dickinson replied, "Here's a weird thing. The International Fencing Federation, okay, the actual like Western Fencing Federation in particular, and this is kind of led by the French, now has internationally sanctioned competitions in lightsaber. I kid you not, in lightsaber," he reiterated, assuring everyone that it is not a joke. The frontman continued, "I've seen 2 of the training sessions, and we actually have competition lightsabers, and they are the coolest things. I bought a junior fencing lightsabers, and they are just the coolest thing on God's green earth. It's full-on combat lightsaber. You can catch the shit out of it. It does work." He's even had to go at plan with lighted weaponry himself. "I carried these once into a hotel lobby, and we ended up having lightsaber fights in the lobby, and nobody stopped us because everybody's like, that is the coolest thing we've ever seen." So the idea of having like a lightsaber duel with Samurai Eddie on stage, oh yeah, bring it on, Dickinson exclaimed. Unfortunately, the topic of lightsabers was never broached during our own interview with the Iron Maiden singer, but he covered quite a lot of other grounds, such as ideal time travel destinations. So I don't know. To me, that would be some cool shit, seeing lightsaber with Eddie.
Yeah, that'd be cool as shit.
And then my last story was over at Blabbermouth. Alice Cooper has been named Grand Marshal for Arizona Desert Financial Festival Parade. he will serve as Fiesta Bowl Parade Grand Marshals when the Desert Financial Fiesta Bowl Parade hits Central Phoenix, Arizona on Saturday, December 18th. The theme of the parade, which honors the organization's 50th anniversary, is Gold Standard, a commitment to community. The Desert Financial Fiesta Bowl Parade Grand Marshal honors an individual or group whose actions align with the Fiesta Bowl's commitment to driving economic growth, champion, championing charitable causes, and executing innovative experiences. Man, I'm just all over the place in this shit. For almost 50 years, singer, songwriter, and musician Alice Cooper has impacted the music world with his unique theatrical and heavy metal rock performances. In the Phoenix metropolitan area, Cooper founded Alice Cooper's Solid Rock, a faith-based organization that has a mission to make a difference in teens' lives by helping them meet the spiritual, economical, physical, and social needs by offering a safe, engaging environment during non-school hours. To boost a national profile of Arizona, help Arizona State in its postseason prospects, and showcase Arizona as a major sports player, 9 visionaries came together to bring a bowl game to the Phoenix community. Uh, with an effort that started in the late 1968, a group headed to by advertising executive Glenn Hawkins, newspaper public relations director Bill Shover, hoteler Jack Stewart, lawyer Don Myers, media executive Carl Eller, stockbroker Jim Myers, Coca-Cola general manager George Taylor, banker George Isabel, and accountant Don DuPont began their mission to bring a college bowl game to Arizona. After several presentations to the NCAA, the persistence paid off on April 26, 1971, when the NCAA Council approved a bowl game in Arizona, and the Fiesta Bowl was born. Jim Meyer, Don Meyer, Myers, and Bill Shover will represent the founders down the parade route. A pillar in the community for over 80 years, Desert Financial Credit Union has been the title sponsor for the Fiesta Bowl since 2018. Desert Financial has boasted custom floats, balloons, and activations throughout the years and will continue the tradition of showing off the company's spirit of giving. Joining the parade family this year is Lerner and Rowe as representing partner. After having worked the Fiesta Bowl organization on several community relations projects over the past several years, the organization has been paying forward to the law firm's achievements and success by assisting Arizona community organizations that serve children and families. The law office of Lerner and Rowe has been the Arizona staple since its founding in 2005 and was built on the principles of quality, representation, and dedication to client service and satisfaction. With the Desert Financial Fiesta Bowl Parade moving 2 weeks earlier, the state's highest attended single day event will enjoy its own spotlight on Saturday, December 18th. Admission is free to the public, with premium and reserve seating now available for sale at $30. The parade is broadcast live on Arizona's Family 3 TV, online, and through the AZ Family app. Combination of more than 3,000 men, women, and children and animals participate in the Desert Financial Fiesta Bowl annually, which features various brilliantly colored floats, giant balloons, antique cars, equestrian units, charitable groups, local celebrities, marching bands, and more. The Fiesta Bowl invites groups to submit an application by Friday, September 10th, 2021, to join in on the historic parade. For more information about the event, the application process, and to purchase tickets, you can go to www.fiestabowl.org/parade. Quote, we are celebrating and honoring 50 years of community impact, and who better to lead the way than Arizona icon Alice Cooper and our legendary Fiesta Bowl founders, without whom we wouldn't be here today, said Mike Neely, Fiesta Bowl Executive Director. With the Desert Financial Fiesta Bowl parade presented by Lerner and Rao being earlier this year, we get to celebrate and connect with our community like never before. It will be an honor to serve as Grand Marshal for this year's Desert Financial Fiesta Bowl parade. Riding on a float doesn't sound like a hard job, and I can't wait to do this in my hometown, said Alice Cooper. I appreciate the generosity of Fiesta Bowl charities and helping Phoenix area teenagers. It's a great way I see other organizations supporting similar organizations like our Solid Rock Teen Center to get the job done for members of our community. From the beginning, the Fiesta Bowl founders' vision was to create Arizona's largest and most important community effort in history. Over our 50 years, we have done just that. Our collaboration and can-do spirit were the foundation of the amazing impact Fiesta Bowl has had and on and off the field ever since. The founders are honored to be the grand marshals of the Desert Financial Fiesta Bowl and once again celebrate this incredible event with our community. Um, there's no better way to celebrate the Fiesta Bowl in our community than with the. I think it brings the whole community together, and the Desert Financial team is proud to be a part of that, said CEO Jeff Meshi. It's so great to be able to celebrate the Fiesta Bowl 50-year history with founders and local icon Alice Cooper as Grand Marshals. We can't wait to see all of those smiling faces along the parade route when Christmas comes early this year on December 18th. Uh, so, so just I guess that's pretty cool. Alice Cooper used to be a Grand Marshal of the Fiesta Bowl parade, and of course, that's a pretty televised event from NCAA football. So,
Right.
football fans and metal fans alike get to see two things that they're passionate about. So that's awesome.
Yeah. What's weird to Alice Cooper confuses me because Alice Cooper was born in East Detroit,
Right.
and in the story he said he's talking about Phoenix as his hometown, and his album that came out last year was called Detroit Stories. So I'm kind of confused as to what Alice. I
Well,
mean,
I
I'm
mean,
an Alice Cooper fan. Don't get me wrong. So I like Alice Cooper, but he just confuses me because I mean, like I say, he was born in Detroit. He had an album come out last year called Detroit Stories. One of the songs on the album, he actually kind of tweaked the lyrics a little bit to where it fit with the Detroit Red Wings hockey team. So, and then I've seen him. Of course, he lives in Arizona, and that's fine. But
right.
he's calling Phoenix his hometown, and I've actually seen him at Arizona Coyotes hockey games before. Not personally, not in person, but like on TV. So I mean, I'm not exactly sure what he's got going on as far as what his hometown actually is. But I mean, I get to each their own, I guess. Like I know he's lived in Arizona for a long time, so it's
Well,
like I say, he just confused me a little bit.
yeah,
But my
I
hat's
guess
off to him.
I guess it could be the same thing said as like Kid Rock. He's from Detroit, but
Mm-hmm.
he's of course lives in Nashville, and calls
Right.
Nashville his home now. So I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess where you were raised and where you consider your hometown could be two different places. For
Oh,
some
yeah, that's
people,
true.
but
That's true.
he didn't say his birthright hometown. I guess that's what you.
That's true. That is true. Yeah.
So,
All right.
so I guess I guess he's more partial to Arizona now. So
Oh yeah, I would say so. I mean, like I say, I'm not. I got nothing against it, and I'm not mad or anything. Even though I'm from Michigan, so it's not like I'm mad. I just think it's actually kind of funny because he kind of goes back and forth. So
right.
I just get it.
Well,
I just get a kick out of it sometimes.
I mean, when you're in, I guess the entertainment world, you have to go where, uh, you have to be from where you think is going to benefit you the best. I guess.
That's true. That's true.
Because I've lived where I've lived most of my life, but
Mm-hmm.
my alter ego in wrestling was from Clearwater Beach, Florida. So a lot of people
Right.
always used to ask me, are you ever
Yeah.
going back to Florida? Of course, I play the part. I'm like, one day maybe, but you know, but
Well, everybody know, and
I, but
and the Undertaker was from Death Valley.
yeah. Well, I mean, the whole story was we, my mom was pregnant with me, and we were coming back. I guess they were coming back from visiting my dad's family in Florida, and she wanted to be back before the due date, so I would be born in Tennessee, of course. But she was having contractions on the way back up, and they happened to be in Clearwater happened to be the closest hospital. That's where they actually went to get checked in. Everything was just a false alarm, and then she got sent home. And then, of course, I think I was born a week or two later here in Columbia. So
Oh, all right.
that's kind of where it came from. It wasn't like a just out of nowhere. That's the home. I didn't like spin the globe and put my finger on it and say that's where I'm from. But there was a
Yeah.
little bit of a story behind it. So I mean,
Yeah.
but yeah, it is what it is. Like if it benefited me to if I had became a big big name in wrestling or whatever, then use that. Then of course I would go down in the community and I would feel responsible for that since I was
Mm-hmm.
claiming to be from there. I would look like a total
Right.
jackass if I didn't. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like what wrestler was from Parts Unknown? I know there was
all
a
of
wrestler.
them.
Well, I mean, there was one wrestler who literally claimed he was from Parts Unknown. I can't remember who it was.
Well, I'm pretty sure like George the Animal Steel did that, and the Missing Link. There was a
Okay.
few.
Okay.
There was a few guys that did the
Okay.
parts unknown type things.
Yeah. Because like I said just a minute ago, the Undertaker was from Death Valley, California,
Yeah.
and hell, even Steve Austin, he said he was from Victoria, Texas. That's not where he's from. So
Right. Right.
yeah. So
Yeah. But I mean,
yeah.
But Steve though actually stayed in Texas and lives in Texas. So
Oh yeah. 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 Yeah.
so I mean he might as well be a Texan.
Oh shit, he is a Texan through and through. Absolutely.
All right. Well, let's move over into this week in metal history. Uh,
All right.
I'll kick that off if you want me to here because I know you're.
Yeah,
I
that
want
sounds good.
to. I want to because I actually was looking at a different thing for birthdays this week that popped up, and I said, "Oh, I'm gonna check them out too and see what they have." And they had a couple extra ones that I found there, so it was pretty cool. But they also do album lists
Nice.
like you do, and I thought, "Holy shit, this is gonna be a hell of a list." So, so,
All right,
so,
that's cool.
so this week in metal history, I have August 29th, 1987. I have Def Leppard scored their first UK #1 album with Hysteria, which also became #1 on the US charts in July the following year after spending 49 weeks working its way to the top. So, yeah, so that was a big album back in '87.
Yeah, it was.
August the 29th of 2000, Slipknot caused chaos at this year's Kerrang Awards after smashing glasses, setting fire to their table, throwing a monitor off the stage, and destroying a microphone. The band picked up 3 awards, including Best Single and Best Live Act. And they probably could have picked up a 4th for Best Fight a award show. But uh, August the 30th, 1989, Izzy Stradlin from Guns N' Roses was arrested for making a public disturbance on a U.S. air flight. Stradlin had urinated on the floor, verbally abused a stewardess, and smoked in the non-smoking section of the aircraft. Oh my God!
Jesus Christ, man!
Yeah, these damn rock stars. I tell you. Well, I mean, it's kind of like what was I can't remember the comedian, but he was talking about he did something on a plane that was illegal, and they were just like, "Sir, you can't do that." And he's like, "We're 30,000 feet in the air. What are you gonna do? Throw me off?" So, August 31st, 1991, Metallica started a 4-week run at #1 on the U.S. album charts with Metallica. The album featured Enter Sandman, Sad But True, The Unforgiven, and Nothing Else Matters, and went on to sell over 10 million copies in the U.S. alone. And they also hold what record, Chris? I know you love saying it.
Oh yeah, the all-time Nielsen SoundScan sales record across all genres of music.
I was writing that down when I was writing that down. I said, I got to set him up because I know he wants to say it.
I absolutely do. I want to always say that. I will. Oh, I always want to say it.
August 31st, 2006, the Times ran a story on the demands of rock stars when on tour. The one that stuck out to me was Ozzy Osbourne insists on an eye, ear, and nose and throat doctor at each of his venues that he performed at. So that's kind of a wild,
well, I mean, if you're a singer, I guess it's kind of smart to have on hand.
Yeah, I guess so.
That makes sense, actually. That really does make sense. That's actually thinking ahead.
You actually wouldn't think that coming from Ozzy. That's what he would ask for, especially what was that in 2006, and maybe in 2006, but 10 years before that would have been a different story, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Here's one I pulled from that same website. August the 31st, 1985. Scorpions, Rat, Y&T, Metallica, and Yngwie Malmsteen performed at Day on the Green in Oakland, California. Man, that was a hell of a damn show.
Yeah, it was.
Just ask Yngwie, he'll tell you.
I was just literally just about to say that.
Oh, wow. So, he probably headlined it according to him. But,
yeah, he played first, but he headlined it.
Yeah. September 2nd, 1989, Ozzy Osbourne was charged with threatening to kill his wife Sharon. Ozzy was released on the condition that he immediately went into detox. The case was later dropped when the couple decided to reconcile. So yeah, like I said, Ozzy was a wild man. Diary of a Madman. There you go. Back in the 80s.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
September 3rd, 1999, the largest music bootleg bust in U.S. history was made. It was estimated that this one operation alone was responsible for $100 million in lost revenues. Recording equipment valued at $250,000 was confiscated, as were almost 1 million CDs and tapes. On scene was Officer Ulrich and Hetfield. I'm just kidding. I didn't say
that. I was waiting for more of the setup. I was waiting for
the
great Napster caper.
Yeah. They should make a cartoon about that with Scooby Doo and Metallica going after the Napster.
Oh, hey! If that episode ever comes out, we talked about it here first.
Right, exactly. Just remember that.
Yeah, we do want some of that, Lars. Yeah, we do want some of that.
Right. Yep. September 3rd, 2008, heavy metal band Slipknot scored their first U.S. #1 album, but only after a recount put them ahead of rappers The Game's latest release. Slipknot topped the U.S. chart with their fourth studio album, All Hope Is Gone, which, according to analyst Nielsen SoundScan, sold 239,516 copies, 1,134 more than The Game's album. So, Slipknot in the news a lot here in September. So,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. September 4th, 1982, Survivor were at #1 on the UK singles charts with the theme from the film Rocky III, Eye of the Tiger, their only chart topper. Survivor also won a Grammy for the best rock performance for that song. So, I know you're a very much in tune with that movie and song. I know we've talked about that a bunch of times.
Yeah. I love the entire franchise, even Rocky V. But
I thought Rocky V was good. So. I haven't watched. Have you watched any of the Creed ones though? I haven't watched any of those.
I saw the first one. I haven't had a chance to watch any of the other ones yet, but of course, there's only two that have come out, and they're in the process of making the third one. And I actually heard that Stallone's not coming back for the third one. I don't know that for sure, but I heard that. But I have not seen Creed 2 yet. But I do know that Ivan Drago comes back for that one, so that'll be interesting.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but I do enjoy the Rocky movies quite a bit. But everybody knows Eye of the Tiger. Not Eye of the Bull, not Eye of the Moose, Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah. Tiger. Oh. All right, that was all the news that I had for the history. So I will turn it over to you.
Yes, sir. All right. My portion of This Week in Metal History is brought to you by This Day in Metal over on Twitter and on Facebook. As always, go visit Metal Marv on Twitter or on Facebook. Starting off with last Saturday's second half, the holdovers after the show went off the air last week. We've got August 28th of 2015. Nile releases What Should Not Be Unearthed. Motorhead releases Bad Magic, which peaked at number 35 on the Billboard 200. Soilwork releases The Ride Majestic. And Tad Morose releases Saint Demonius. Let's see. August 28th of 2007, Heaven and Hell releases Live from Radio City Music Hall. August 28th, 2006, Iron Maiden releases A Matter of Life and Death, which was the band's first album to enter the Billboard 200 Top 10, peaking at number 9.
Seriously?
August 28th of 2000. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. August 28th of 2001, Slipknot releases the aforementioned Iowa, which peaked at number 3 on the Billboard 200. August 28th of 1989, Wasp releases the single Forever Free, which peaked at number 25 on the UK singles chart. Moving ahead to the 29th, August 29th, 1988, Helloween releases Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 2, and Protector releases their debut album Golem, or Gollum, however the hell you pronounce that, depending on if you watched, the movies or not.
Smeagol.
My precious. That the funny thing is, as a quick aside, that's like the only thing I know from those movies. I've never been watched those.
Oh my god!
No,
Those are
I
awesome.
haven't. So let's see. All right. August 29th, 2005, Savage Circus releases their debut album, Dreamland Manor. Opeth releases Ghost Reveries, which peaked at number 64 on the Billboard 200, and Iron Maiden releases the live album Death on the Road. August 29th of 2008, Serenity releases Fallen Sanctuary. Destruction releases Devolution, and Haggard releases Tales of Etheria. I guess I say Etheria right, but I can't say Sanctuary right. 8/29 of 2000, Nocturnal Rites releases Afterlife. August 29th of 2006, Motorhead releases Kiss of Death, and Gwar releases Beyond Hell. August 29th, 1991, Metallica releases the single Don't Tread on Me. August 29th, 2007, Amorphous releases Silent Waters. August 29th, 1995, Excel releases Seeking Refuge. And August 29th of 2014, Stryker releases City of Gold. Moving ahead to the 30th, August 30th, 1985, Stormtroopers of Death release their debut album, Speak English or Die. And Nasty Savage releases their self-titled debut album. August 30th, 1991, Atheist releases Unquestionable Presence. August 30th, 1993, Dark Tranquillity releases their debut album, Skydancer. August 30th, 1992, Transgressor releases their debut album, Ether for Scapegoat. August 30th of 2005, Nuclear Assault releases Third World Genocide, and Protest the Hero releases their debut album, Kezia. August 30th, 1988, Danzig releases their self-titled debut album. August 30th of 2019, Entombed AD releases Bowels of Earth. August 30th of 1989, Anathema releases their self-titled debut album. Moving ahead to the 31st, August 31st, 1985, Metallica releases the single For Whom the Bell Tolls. August 31st of 2004, Lamb of God releases Ashes of the Wake, which debuted at number 27 on the Billboard 200, and Mastodon releases Leviathan. August 31st, 1986, Hallows Eve releases Death and Insanity. August 31st, 1999, Megadeth releases Risk, which debuted at number 16 on the Billboard 200. August 31st, 1998, Death releases The Sound of Perseverance. August 31st of 2007, Agent Steel releases Alien Enigma. August 31st, 2018, UDO releases Steel Factory. And August 31st of 2012, Gravedigger releases Clash of the Gods. Moving into September 1st, 1989, Motley Crue releases Dr. Feelgood, which peaked at number 1 on the Billboard 200. September 1st, 1989, Death Row releases Raging Steel. September 1st, 1984, Nightmare releases their debut album, Waiting for the Twilight. September 1st, 2006, Blind Guardian releases A Twist in the Myth, which peaked at number 4 on the German charts. September 1st, 1980, Saxon releases Strong Arm of the Law, which debuted at number 11 on the official charts in the UK. September 1st, 1986, Lizzie Borden releases Menace to Society, which peaked at number 144 on the Billboard 200. September 1st, 2017, Paradise Lost releases Medusa. September 1st, 1988, Celtic Frost releases Cold Lake. September 1st, 1990, The Exploited releases The Massacre. And September 1st, 1993, Threshold releases their debut album, Wounded Land. Moving ahead to the 2nd, September 2nd, 1993, Sepultura releases Chaos AD. September 2nd, 1987, Carnivore releases Retaliation. September 2nd, 1990, Morbid Saint releases their debut album, Spectrum of Death, and Benediction releases their debut album, Subconscious Terror. September 2nd, 2014, Insight releases Up in Hell. September 2nd, 1999, Amon Amarth releases The Avenger. September 2nd, 2002, Threshold releases Critical Mass. September 2nd, 1985, Attacker releases their debut album Battle at Helm's Deep. September 2nd, 2008, Toxic Holocaust releases An Overdose of Death. And September 2nd, 1984, Torch releases Electricus. Moving ahead to the 3rd, September 3rd, 1990, Judas Priest releases Painkiller, which peaked at number 26 on the Billboard 200. September 3rd, 1984, Iron Maiden releases Power Slave, and Sabaton releases their debut album Vibrations of Doom. September 3rd, 1987, Infernal Majesty releases their debut album None Shall Defy. September 3rd, 2010, Death Angel releases Relentless Retribution. September 3rd, 1986, Crank releases their debut album Hideous. September 3rd, 1991, Overkill releases Horoscope. September 3rd, 1982, Saint Vitus releases COD. September 3rd, 1989, Evil Dead releases their debut album Annihilation of Civilization. September 3rd, 2002, In Flames releases Reroute to Remain. And September 3rd, 2001, Entombed releases Morning Star. And moving ahead to today's date, September 4th, 2015, Iron Maiden releases The Book of Souls, which peaked at number 1 in all of 24 countries. And Amorphous releases Under the Red Cloud. September 4th, 1990, Eviction releases their debut album The World Is Hours Away. September 4th, 1984, Fisk releases their debut album Tracker. September 4th, 1987, Vengeance releases Take It or Leave It. And for now, last but not least, September 4th, 2020, Stryper releases Even the Devil Believes. So those are the historical releases from August 28th to September 4th. And as always, I will begin next week's segment with any holdover overlaps from today's date.
Man, that's some killer albums on that list too. So.
Yeah, there were some really good ones. There really were. And as a quick aside, I want to talk about Overkill for 1 second. I don't know if you I don't know if you remember this, but Beavis and Butthead. I know you remember the show, but during one of I don't remember which episode it was, but there was a video for the song "Hello from the Gutter" by Overkill that Beavis and Butthead made fun of. And I remember back when I first saw that, I thought it was hilarious, and it also turned me off to the band Overkill for a long time because they were making fun of the music video, so I thought they were a crappy band. Yeah, so I thought they were a crappy band. And it wasn't until a few years later that I actually listened to Hello from the Gutter in its entirety, and I was like, holy shit, was I ever fucking wrong? So I started listening to more and more of Overkill's stuff, and I am actually a pretty big Overkill fan now. So, so I just wanted to kind of just talk about that for a second, about how off base I was about Overkill. Overkill actually is pretty goddamn good, and I'm a huge fan of theirs. And I actually dig the title track off of that Horoscope album. If you haven't if you haven't heard that song, it's really fucking dark, but it's heavy and it's awesome. Yeah, so I highly recommend it.
So you listened to Beavis and Butthead since they were right about White Zombie. You thought they were going to be right about everything else, I guess.
Right. Yeah. That's what it was. Yeah. So.
All right.
So take it for what it's worth.
Moving into our special top 10s this week, we actually had two.
That's right. Yeah.
So the first one that we kind of announced last week, we were wanting to put together a compile list. I do this every year anyway, usually on my own. I don't really publish it, but I always think about 10 bands that I haven't seen live that I want to, and I try to make that my purpose for my years of trying to go to shows. I try to build it around the people I want to see that I haven't seen. Top 10 that I want to see live. Bullet for My Valentine is pretty much on top of my list. Probably tied with Megadeth, which is my second one. Which story with Megadeth is I've had tickets to see them 4 times, and the shows have gotten canceled or postponed for some unknown freaking reason. Of course, the last 2 times was from
this
COVID,
year,
but So hopefully next week I'll actually get to see them at the Blue Ridge Rock Festival.
Right.
Maybe I don't hold my breath or anything until the day of the show, I guess. But
Yeah.
at this point, I'm just like anything could go wrong. Probably will to keep me from seeing them. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it took me it took me from '94 or '96, somewhere around in that area up until 2018 to see Allison Chains, which was one of the bands that I wanted to see ever since. Of course, I wanted to see him with Lane Staley. Of course, that didn't happen. I did have tickets to see him
Right.
on two different occasions with Lane, and both times he was in rehab. So there wasn't nothing I can do about that. But yeah, it is what it is. But
Whoops.
so my third was Trivium, which I was also going to be at the festival next week. So hopefully I can knock at least two of them out of off my list
Right.
next week. Judas Priest is my fourth. Haven't being a big fan of Priest, it's just never lined up for me to actually go to a show. So hopefully
Mm-hmm.
the plan is to get back from the Blue Ridge and then within the next 2 weeks buy tickets for Judas Priest and Sabaton here in Nashville. So
Yep.
and then
That's
my
also
fifth
that's
one,
also my plan.
yeah. Also your plan, yeah, right.
Is to
So
go with you. Yeah. To go with
yeah,
you. Yeah.
so the fifth band was Iron Maiden. Yeah, I've never gotten a chance to see those guys either. Like I said, it's just never lined up. Actually, we're going to go see them on the Legacy of the Beast tour, and then I don't remember. I think it was during the same week we were at a festival, so it didn't pan out like I would have hoped. But I will get there if they come back on this round. That's going to be one of the concerts that I will definitely buy tickets for when they come back on tour. So, and of course, I guess you're not going to be surprised by this one, but Warbringer is also one of my
Right.
of Mice and Men. Actually, I don't think I've actually seen them live. I was trying to remember if I did, it wasn't it wasn't very memorable, I guess. But anyway, so Exodus was my eighth choice. Havoc, and then Testament. So that rounded out my top 10. Testament is also going to be at this festival, so hopefully I can knock that one out too. So
Yeah.
I can knock out three of those off my list, and hopefully within next week. So
Yeah. I know you and I have talked before, sitting around the fire talking about like, fantasy billing, like if we could put a bill together.
oh
I
yeah,
think I think we actually put Testament, Exodus, and Havoc, and I think maybe even Hatchet on the same bill. So I
well,
think that was one of the concert bills that we came up with if we were booking it.
right. Well, I know we were talking about that would be so cool because Testament, Havoc, and Warbringer all came out with an album at the same kind of around the same time, and I was like, man, if
Yeah.
those three toured together, holy shit.
Yeah.
But
That would be one hell of a man. That would still be one hell of a concert.
oh
And
yeah,
it was Warbringer. It wasn't Hatchet. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's right. All right, so my top 10. I call this my bucket list, quote unquote. Even though
quite. That's kind of what it is, I guess.
that's kind of what this. Yeah. So my first band is Sabaton. So I'm like I said, I'm hoping to knock that one off the list when hopefully we're able to go see Judas Priest and Sabaton together in Nashville. I actually did get to see Judas Priest at Ozfest in 2004. So this would actually be the first time seeing Priest as a headliner. So I would be interested I would definitely be interested in that. So I'm hoping to go to that show with you. My second band is Rammstein. Just not only because I like the music, even though I can only understand about 0.1% of the words, but because I've heard that their stage show is just insane. So
Yeah.
I'd like to see Rammstein. And then I would also like to go see Testament, Havoc, and Exodus. Ideally, like we talked about, all on the same bill. That would
Right.
be great.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Somebody out there, some promoter, make that shit happen. They're all thrash metal bands. Make that shit happen.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of a no-brainer. It kind of seems like it anyway. And then I also want to see Bullet for My Valentine. I haven't seen them yet either. Number 7, Killswitch Engage. I haven't had a chance to see them yet. I know that they're going to be in Birmingham with Slipknot, but I know we've talked about it before. I would kind of rather go see Priest and Sabaton than Killswitch Engage and Slipknot. If you're giving me the choice between the two. So Killswitch Engage, they'll come around again. So I know I'll have a chance to go see them. And then the next two are going to be a little more difficult because I don't think they come to North America that often. I want to see Primal Fear, and I want to see Angelus Apatrida.
I mean, that would have been on my list too, but that's why I was trying to be reasonable.
Well, I mean, these are 10 bands I haven't seen that I want to see. So, and like I said, I know some of them will be easier than others, but these are bands I want to see. And
if we keep saying their name, maybe it'll be like Beetlejuice or something. They'll appear over here or something.
Yeah, that's exactly. And then last but not least, I know they were in Nashville I know they were in Tennessee not too long ago. As I want to see Avatar. I want to see them live.
Yes.
I know they were here not too long ago, but I didn't have an opportunity to go to that show. So I know they'll probably come around again. So that one will be a little easier than some of the other ones. So that was my top 10 list of bucket list bands.
Well, Avatar is actually at the festival next week too. So
I probably could have knocked out. Well, you're going to definitely knock out half of your list this coming weekend. So, I mean,
three bands. Three bands are actually Megadeth, Trivium, and Testament are actually there. Most of the other bands that are there, I have already seen before. So.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
I'm actually keeping my fingers crossed for you. I can't go, but I'm totally keeping my fingers crossed for you that everything goes off without a hitch. I really am.
I don't know if you've seen, but they just added another band. Like it's a week away, and I can't believe they're adding bands still. But Suicidal Tendencies just got added, so
Is the festival going to be sponsored? Is the festival going to be sponsored by Pepsi so Mike can have one?
Yeah, man, that guy actually. I don't know how true this is. I'm just going by what he said, but he was like he's never like drank or did drugs or anything. As far as I'm just like, really, you're in a rock band and never done that? That's kind of wow.
That is pretty crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not going to.
But did he ever get the goddamn Pepsi?
I don't know.
We need to ask him. We got to ask him.
Maybe he did do that on stage. But I can't remember. It was at the festival and it was kind of all over the place. And I know he went on. He goes on this rant on stage and then they only played 3 songs in their 45-minute set because he was ranting the most.
Oh Jesus!
But I mean, it was cool.
They
were playing music while he was ranting, so it wasn't like.
No, okay. I was gonna say that had to be fun for the rest of the band, but I mean, if they were kind of if they were giving him,
they were just strumming along, Yeah.
Okay.
All right, then moving over to our next set of 10, we decided we're going to do 10 songs about blood. I guess blood related songs. So
it's it's 10 songs by Slayer.
Right. Oh my God.
Not really, but I mean, I do.
It could be.
I mean,
or Five Finger Death Punch, one of those.
That's true. That's true.
So so I'll go off on my 10, and I got some honorable mentions as well, just in case we don't get a full set
consensus.
In case we cross over too much. And anyway,
all right.
So I got AC/DC, If You Want Blood, You Got It, from Highway to Hell in 1979. I have In This Moment, Blood from Blood of 2012. I have Death Angel, I Came for Blood from Humanicide in 2019, which is one of my favorite songs from that album. So
that's a damn good song.
It is. Five Finger Death Punch, The Bleeding, from The Way of the Fist in 2007. I have Machine Head, The Blood, The Sweat, The Tears, The Burning Red, 1999. I have Megadeth, Blood of Heroes from Euthanasia in 1994. Of course, I have Slayer, Raining Blood from Rain in Blood from 1986. I have Trivium, Bleed Into Me from What the Dead Man Say in 2020. Kind of went newer on that one and this one. Flotsam and Jetsam, Blood in the Water from Blood in the Water 2021. It's such a good song, damn.
That is a great song too.
That's a damn good album. It's probably gonna be, it's still in my top 10 running right now. So for the year. So
because I think Didn't I know one of us reviewed it. Was it me? Did I review that
Yeah,
one?
yeah, 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 yeah. You reviewed that one. Yeah, you
Okay.
reviewed it. So,
Yeah, but yeah, good album. Absolutely.
so then my last one was Sepultura Roots, Bloody Roots from Roots of 1986.
All right. I'm gonna say this right now. And we've only been doing these a short amount of time, I know, but this is probably gonna be our best thematic playlist so far. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because I'm surprised by this, but we only had 3 duplicates.
Nice. Well, that's good because I got 3 honorable mentions. So
Yeah. Because I would have guessed that we would have had at least 5 duplicates, if not more. But at the same time, there are so many songs with just the word blood in them that
right.
I guess it shouldn't surprise me, but it kind of does at the same time. But this is going to be a goddamn great playlist that we put together. So, without further ado, here's my top 10 blood related songs. I had Raining Blood from Slayer off of 1986's Rain in Blood. Then I had Bloody Angel by Avatar off of 2014's Hail the Apocalypse. I had Bleed the Crown off of Angelus Apatrita's album from this year. Then I had Bloodlines by Deathclock from 2009's Death Album 2. I also had Blood from In This Moment, the 2012 self-titled album. I had Wait and Bleed by Slipknot from the 1999 self-titled debut album. I had Hand of Blood by Bullet for My Valentine off the Hand of Blood EP from 2005. I had Bled for Days by Static X off of 1999's Wisconsin Death Trip. Then I had World Painted
That's
Blood
a great
by
song.
Slayer.
Sorry. I mean, I liked everything you named, but Bled for Days just makes me happy. That's all. Thank you.
No, you're good, buddy.
There's your schmuck break-in interrupting your live broadcast. You're welcome.
Well,
Damn,
I mean, we
man,
can't,
you're always welcome.
We can't fire you. So I mean,
Thank you.
What are we
Thank you,
doing?
gentlemen. I appreciate that.
What are we gonna do?
I know you have no say in this. I will interfere when I want to interfere. But no, when you start naming shit and I start singing it to myself while I'm doing work on the station, I can't help but to break in. So that gets 10 devil horns.
That's awesome.
All right, so then number 9, I had World Painted Blood by Slayer. Off of World Painted Blood from 2009. I really tried to keep Slayer down to one song, but I just couldn't do it.
Right.
And then last but certainly not least, I also had Roots, Bloody Roots off of Sepultura's 1996. I know, right? Off of 1996's The Roots of Sepultura album. You know, and then I had a couple honorable mentions too. I had The Bleeding by Five Finger Death Punch, and as luck would have it, I also had Blood Brothers by Iron Maiden, because last week was Family, this week was Blood, and then we had Blood Brothers. Right. So,
yeah. so
that one actually carried over. So
my honorable mentions were Avatar, Bloody Angel, which you had, and then I had the band Bleed from Within, Fracture from Fracture 2020, and then I had Meshuggah's Bleed from Obsidian in 2008.
Yep.
how both of us didn't have that on our. I actually figured you would, so that's why I put it as an honorable mention. So,
well, the funny thing about it is I was going to, but not being a huge Meshuggah fan, I didn't put it on the list because the main draw of that song for me is just the goddamn drums.
Right.
True. So that was the main. Still
a hell of a song.
So I mean that. It is, but that was the main reason why I didn't put it on my list. But I definitely wouldn't be upset if we added it to the playlist. Not even by a long shot. But yeah, this one definitely could have gone. We definitely could have gone further with that one, I think. But yeah, that's going to be a great fucking playlist that Dan will probably only play one song of.
Bled for Days on repeat.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, there are worse songs you could play on repeat. That's for damn
That is
sure.
true. That is very true. All right, so guess we got that, and we'll figure out what we're gonna do for next week. I haven't really decided yet, so I know I had a couple of things and in mind that I wrote down somewhere, but
yeah. But you will have to tune in next week to see what the theme's going to be.
That's right, and we got to figure out what day and times we're going to do the show next week. So,
right, yeah. Just a heads up. There's a outside shot that next week's show may not be on at 10 o'clock. There's actually an outside shot that it may not be on may not be on Saturday either. Jason is going out to the Blue Ridge Rock Festival in Virginia, so we may have to do a little bit of schedule tweaking. So we'll kind of discuss that between us, and then we'll run that by Dan. But we'll keep you guys posted the best we can as to when the show is going to be next week. So
had those press passes, I just do it live from there.
Right?
You're ready.
Oh, nice. Anyway, we're going to kick it over into our last portion of the last segment of the show here for the album reviews. I guess I can kick that one off since you did the.
Sure.
You did your list last, so.
That's cool.
I actually listened to the album from Portrait at One with None. Never heard of this band before, but by God, I'm fixing to go back and get familiar with them.
Okay.
So they're a heavy metal band formed in Sweden in 2005. Currently signed to Metal Blade Records. Current members are Anders Persson on the drums, Christian Lindell guitars, Per Lingstedt vocals, and Frederick Peterson on bass. So pretty sure from Sweden. I probably fucked up those names, but I apologize.
Well, at least they're not from Finland. Those names are damn near impossible.
That is true. That is true. Be like they were all sons of sheep herders, and I'm just
kidding. Right? Yeah.
So anyway, this is Portrait's fifth full-length album. They had the self-titled album Portrait 2008. They had Crimen. I'm gonna fuck this up too, so I'm sorry. It's Crimen Laissez Majestatis Divine in 2011. Crossroads in 2014. Burn the World in 2017, and then of course At One with None in 2021. This album was 10 tracks, an hour and 3 minutes in length. Definitely got that old school speed thrash metal feel to it. The vocals are very, very good. I would say in general the sound was similar to like Judas Priest or Iron Maiden. Guitar solos in there were awesome. There's actually some lengthy songs in there, but like once again, I'll pull this up and go track by track just to let you know about how lengthy this is. That's one thing I forgot to put down there. I was wanting to do that just to kind of give you an idea, because I guess that's kind of what gives me that old school feel too, as well, because it's got the lengthy tracks and the great guitar solos, and the belting vocals.
Oh yeah.
So. Thought it would tell me on here, but I guess it doesn't. All right. Anyway, maybe I still got it pulled up here. Anyway, in the meantime, I'll just keep rolling along with it here.
All right.
But yeah, I would say that looking for. I'm actually going to check out some back catalog from these guys. Just because this album was so good. Actually, it's easy for me to give it a 4 horn out of 5. So definitely
nice.
Check that one out. Let me see here. It gives me the playlist here. Yeah, so at one with nuns, the very first track on there, it's 7 minutes 51 seconds. So that's a real way to start one out, you know.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, number two was Curtains, The Dumb Supper. It was 5 minutes and 5 seconds. Phantom Fathomer, which was probably one of my favorite songs on this album. It was 6 minutes 20 seconds. He Who Stands, 6 minutes 39 seconds. Ashen, 9 minutes and 2 seconds, which is the lengthiest song on the album. A Murder of Crows, 4 minutes 43 seconds. Shadowless, 5 minutes 56 seconds. The Gallows Crossing, 6 minutes 57 seconds. The Blood is the Life, 4 minutes 43 seconds, and it ended off with Farewell to the Flesh at 6 minutes and 38 seconds. So 4 minutes and 43 looks like the shortest song on the album. So
Wow.
yeah, so it's
Nice.
pretty lengthy. Like I said, I didn't mind it
yeah.
though. Yeah, I didn't mind it though. It was definitely worth listening to. And like I said, I'm gonna go back and check out their back catalog on my rides to work this week. So
Yeah.
so check out Portrait and At One with Nuns, their current album. Very, very good. So
Hell yeah, man. Oh, the lights went out.
yeah,
Fear of the dark.
something.
Yo, we didn't do that.
Oh, there it is. Oh, nope, there it isn't. There it is. There it isn't.
Yeah, wow.
Nope. Yep. Nope. Okay.
Yeah, we're good. You go ahead, man. We'll figure it out.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, I know that's not the only thing you listen to, but yeah, I'll go ahead and do mine real quick. I listened to Our Kingdom Undone, the new album from Beyond Grace. Again, as we normally try to do, this is a band that's new to me as well. They are a death metal band formed in Nottingham, England back in 2014. Their lyrical themes include inhumanity, philosophy, and transhumanism. The current lineup consists of Andrew Workman on bass, Ed Gorod on drums and backing vocals. You have Tim Yearsley on guitars, Andrew Walmsley on vocals, and Chris Morley on the rhythm guitar. This is Beyond Grace's second album. Their debut album was Seekers in 2017, leading up to obviously Our Kingdom Undone in 2021. 8 tracks in length. I didn't do the math on the album in its entirety because not every single track length was listed on the Encyclopedia Metallum, but I do have each track broken down one by one. 8 tracks in length. Track number 1, Dark Forest Doctrine at 4 minutes and 50 seconds. Track number 2, Barmecide Feast at 4:55. Track number 3, Hive Mind at 4:26. Track number 4, Factions Speak Louder Than Herds at 5:35. Track number 5, The Price of Peace at 4:31. Track number 6, Persona Non Grata at 5:53. Track 7, Fearmonger at 4:47. And track number 8, Our Kingdom Undone at a unnecessarily long 12:05. Yeah. We've said before on the show that, we're not exactly death metal fans. It's not a genre that we shy away from, but it's also not the genre that we, primarily gravitate towards. That being said, I didn't dislike the album. I think that, obviously, you have the guttural vocals that are hard to understand by both the lead vocalist and the backing vocalist. 2 different styles of the guttural vocals, but they were hard to understand, all the way through, as is typical with a death metal album. I was able to pick out a little more of the lyrics than I normally can on this one. So I don't know if you could necessarily say that these were cleaner death metal vocals or not. Or hell, I don't know. Maybe I'm developing the ear for it. I don't know which one it is. But musically, I would say it's kind of a typical death metal album. Musically, kind of chugs along. I will say one thing that lead guitarist Tim Yearsley, I think he may be a little bit too talented to play death metal, because some of the guitar solos on this album, even though it was a death metal album, some of the guitar solos were a little bit more, they kind of leaned a little more towards the thrash metal vein. I think the track number 4, Factions Speak Louder Than Herds, I absolutely loved the guitar solo on that song. It was very unexpected how good it was. Some of the double bass drum lines on the album too were also a little bit, how am I going to put this? They were a little more dynamic and diverse than I was expecting as far as double bass goes. It wasn't just regular, just a solid, normal double bass line all the way through the songs. You know, they changed up the tempo a little bit. Of course, they were still there, but, you know, a little bit different than what I was expecting. So overall, I would give this a 2.5 horns out of 5. There was stuff I liked about it. There was stuff that, you know, that I typically don't really care for as far as the death metal genre goes. But, you know, so I'm going to give this one right down the middle. This one I may keep because there were aspects of it that I did like. So I may listen to it again down the line, or, you know, if I've got it on shuffles, if I've got it on shuffle one day and some of these songs come up, I'll definitely, you know, listen to those again. So I'll give it a 2.5 horns out of 5. Then again, like we always say, some of our death metal fans will probably appreciate it more than we would, which is totally fine. Let's see. One of the other things I was able to listen to, well, 2/3 anyway of the debut EP by Living Wreckage. One Foot in the Grave is the name of the EP. It's also the title track, One Foot in the Grave. Track number 2, Mark the Days, is the song that for some reason I can't seem to find anywhere. And then track number 3, Breaking Point, is the other song I was able to listen to. So track 1 and track 3, I was able to watch on YouTube. Track number 2, Mark the Days, I've yet to find it. So if and when I do, I'll take a listen to that. I mean, based on the 2 songs I was able to hear, I would give that like a 3.5 out of 5.
Nice.
It's got a pretty good Shadows Fall vibe to it, which makes sense because I think two of the members of the band used to be in Shadows Fall. But
cool.
the lead singer, Jeff Gard, he's got a pretty diverse vocal style. His clean vocals kind of reminded me of John Bush a little bit, if that tells you anything. So yeah, and then some of his more aggressive vocals, I don't know if I would call it like a metalcore style that he kind of sings at one point, but so he sings in 2 different styles. He's got a little bit more of the aggressive style vocals. They're not gutturals, but like I say, a little more aggressive. And then, like I say, when he sings clean, he sounds like John Bush to me. So you know, Jason, if you want to check that out, I would recommend it. And then, and like I say, if I find the other song I wasn't able to find, I'm definitely going to check that out. So I did listen to 2 of the 3 songs on that. And then last but not least, I posted this to the Metalheads Unite Facebook page. A coworker of mine is in a band called I Am the Law. That band name is a tribute to the Anthrax song and also the movie Judge Dredd. And that is actually from my buddy's mouth. That's where they took the band name from. They actually dropped their new single. What was it? Oh shit! I just lost it. What did I do with it? I just lost it. Hang on. Savage Seasons. Yeah, that's what it is. They dropped a new single yesterday, so go check that out. Jason, I know you listened to it already, so
yeah.
So yeah, go give that a listen. Pretty good band. I haven't heard all of their stuff, but that was the other song that I listened to. So go give them a listen. And then, of course, I downloaded the new Iron Maiden, but due to time constraints, you know, in my personal life, I was only able to get about halfway through it. So I will definitely listen to the other half. But I do like what I've heard so far. Absolutely.
Yeah. I have listened to it all the way through. And I will definitely say that it's a 4-star four horn album for me. Definitely not the characteristic Iron Maiden album, I would say. But
Right.
I'm not disappointed by that though. Not by no means. It's
Yeah.
just it seems like they've kind of gotten with this album. They've kind of gotten more to their heritage, where they came from, and I know I hear a lot of like Scotch Irish sounds in some of the songs.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's definitely a almost like a tribute to their homeland. To me, it's what it's not the typical, you know, number of the beast type, songs on there.
Right. Yeah.
But they're definitely there's. I mean, it's like we talked about this before. It's like the Disturbed when Disturbed went out and did the Evolution album. They said, hey, this is not going to be your normal Disturbed album. So, and I think that's kind of where I'm at with the Iron Maiden. The new Iron Maiden is it's not the typical Iron Maiden, but it's still a good Iron Maiden album. Not my favorite. It's probably not going to be my favorite Iron Maiden album by no means, but it's still a great album. And I mean, if you're an Iron Maiden fan, you're going to love it anyway. So,
right. Yeah. Yeah. I was actually scrolling through, I think it may have been Loudwire. I don't remember if it was Loudwire or which site it was, but I was scrolling through, looking for news stories and stuff like that. And I actually saw one website. They were doing their review of the album, and I didn't read the story, but the headline said that new Iron Maiden album lacks the two things that Iron Maiden is known for, major hooks and major choruses. So I didn't let that influence.
Maybe.
I haven't let that influence, what I've thought of the album so far, but I also don't disagree with that so far. But at the same time, like you said, just because it's different doesn't mean it's not good. I think I've listened to like 5 or 6 of the 12 songs, because it is 12 songs, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. So, I mean, like I say, I'm about halfway through it. And even though I saw that headline talking about the new album, it's in the back of my head and I'm kind of listening for it and I've noticed it. But at the same time, I'm kind of like you. I'm like, well, it is still a goddamn good album. I mean, so far, so good for sure. I mean, yeah.
I'm showing it's 10 songs. So.
Okay, well, that's fine. Regardless, yeah. I think I'm only like I said, I'm only about halfway through either way. But yeah. So
you're 10 songs in an hour and 21 minutes, though.
Well, that sounds like Iron Maiden for sure.
That's definitely
absolutely.
Iron Maiden.
That definitely sounds like Iron Maiden. So that hasn't changed. But yeah. So based on that one headline that I read about the album and what I've heard so far. Sure, I agree with the headline, but at the same time, I kind of, I definitely agree with you. I mean, they changed up a little bit. I mean, the song Writing on the Wall absolutely doesn't, I wouldn't fit the mold of a quote unquote, classic Iron Maiden song, but it's still a great song. So I have a feeling that by the time I listen to the album in its entirety, I'm probably going to agree with you too, Jason. That's probably going to be a 4-star. I already think it's at least a 3-star just by not even hearing, or 3 horn rather. I don't know why I keep saying star, but it's definitely a 3 horn, only getting halfway through it. I'm sure it'll be a 4 horn by the time I listen to the whole thing, because I've already enjoyed what I've heard.
So just to let you know how lengthy it is, there's 2 discs with 10 songs.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, you got the second disc has a 10-minute, 12-minute, and 11-minute song on it. So the last 3 songs are 10, 11, 12 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That definitely sounds like Maiden. Yeah. Which I know sounds kind of ironic, because when I was doing my album review, I know that I said that the last track on the album was an unnecessarily long 12:05. The reason why I said that for that particular song is there was like 2 or 3 different points during that song where it's like, okay, the song is over. And then it wasn't. So they probably could have taken that particular song and broken it up into like track 9 and track 10, but they didn't. So in that instance, for that song by that band, 1205 was probably too long just because of the overall song structure. But I'm not against those long songs. It's just the way they wrote that one.
Right. Yeah. Gotcha. Makes sense. So.
Yeah. It's a case by case basis kind of thing.
Right. So what do we got to look forward to next week?
Yeah. All right. See, coming up next week on September 10th of 2021, leading off with Aborted with Maniacult. And then one that you and I have both talked about, I think we're both looking forward to, surprisingly. We have Andrew WK with God is Partying. Yeah. We have Annette Olsen with Strong. We have April 21st with Courage is Born from Fear. That's an EP for them. Then we have Between Worlds with Between Worlds, self-titled album. We have Chrome Waves with The Rain Will Cleanse. We have Gamma Ray with a 30-year live anniversary album. We have Guar with Scumdogs Live. We have Hawkwind with Somnia. We have Like Machines with Supervillain. That's an EP for them. We have the re-release of the Metallica Black Album, which holds the Nielsen SoundScan record for all-time album sales across all genres. We have Seven Spires with Gods of Debauchery, which I've actually heard a couple songs by this band. They're a pretty diverse band that sings a hell of a lot of different styles. So I may check this out. Jason, I don't know if you remember that video for that song, Lightbringer, that I posted not too long ago.
Yeah.
That female lead singer. That's this band right here, Seven Spires. So I might check that album out. I'd be interested to hear that in its entirety. Then we have Sloth Thrust with Parallel Timeline. And we also have the Metallica Blacklist, which comes out next week, which I know we've talked about it before, but it's 53 total tracks with various covers by various different artists and genres of the Metallica Black Album. So some of those have come out, some of those we've heard, some of those we've even talked about, but it comes out in its entirety next week also. So those are the new releases for September 10th, 2021.
So let's make a plan. So if we don't get to do like everything that we need to on the show this coming up week, let's give a chance to listen to that and then kind of pick out what we did do and don't like about the covers. Like maybe the following week.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
That'll give us time to listen to the whole album. So
yeah, because with 53 songs, that's going to be a minute. Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah.
So we can kind of pick it apart.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So all right. So it looks like got a little bit of some options there for next week.
Yeah, we do. And like we say, we'll do the best we can to keep everybody posted on exactly what time the show is going to be, whether it's still Saturday, whether it's another evening or whatever happens with the time slot. We'll let you guys know since Jason's going to be on remote location. So
yeah. So if you need to like the VOP USA Network or subscribe to VOP,
yes,
so you can keep up with when we go live. Then that's always an option. And if you were just tuning in late into the show, we do the VOP app has been launched, so you can pull that up. See if I can do that right this time.
Oh, you nailed it. Oh, well, wait a minute.
Almost.
Move it to your right. There you go.
So that's what it looks like. So download that on your Android devices. And
that's right. That's VOP Radio 1.0.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So,
yes, beta 1.0.
Yeah.
No beta. No beta.
Sorry.
You do.
Beta bad. Beta's bad.
It's a righteous app, and it's going to look dramatically different very soon. But right now, you could download it. You could listen to everything. and it's awesome. So there you go.
It is awesome. So you have no excuse not to listen to Metalheads Unite and Politishock and Above the Noise and everybody else. I mean, the Pinoy Voice and TWRP and Truly Uncensored and all the great shows we have here.
Oh, you said Truly, and she chimes in. Look at there.
Oh, so 2 hours and 20 minutes go by, and she finally says something. What the fuck?
Wow.
She was trying to figure out how to log on.
It took her 2.5 hours to get her laptop warmed up.
Dan's firing all kind of shots this morning. She says she's working. Man, golly.
Working. Yeah. Well, do we believe that though? No, we believe it. Of course we do.
Wow. All right. So, if you haven't had a chance to, we do create a couple of playlists on Spotify. So if you have a Spotify account,
Spotify.
Spotify. Yeah.
Spotify.
I must be getting hyped up for Soulfly. I don't know.
Did you say Spotify?
Spotify.
He did.
Yeah.
Wow.
He said Spotify.
Yeah.
He said Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify. Yeah, it's all cornbread.
He's all over the.
You got to speak cornbread. So.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh,
yes, you do.
Wow.
Yes, you do.
So if you have a Spotify account and you want to follow Metalheads Unite, there's a couple of playlists we have on there, and of course I'm going to shoot the one up for Blood here in just a few minutes. There's actually I left the playlist up. I don't know if you noticed I left it up from last week, so I just relabeled the new one Metalheads Unite 2, so that way kind of give you guys a chance to listen to it without just deleting it and starting over. So
yeah,
I'll probably go through and scrub it every month or something just to give everybody a chance to check it out, see what they think, and just glad I can give you guys some kind of extra content there. So
it's good. It's been good stuff. Yeah.
So
it's been awesome.
I'm working on a couple of other things right now for some merch. So that's going to be coming up pretty soon. So we'll show you guys that stuff as it comes in.
And we're still working on the email address. Yeah.
Yeah, we're still working on that. Haven't had a chance to sit down and do that. Work's been kind of demanding lately. I had a coworker out with COVID, so I've had to take on a little bit more responsibility this week. Which I can't say anything. I can't say anything. They did that when I had it. So.
Right. And well, you gotta, and you also have to keep Jeff Bezos in the lifestyle to which he's become accustomed. So.
Yeah, well, I got to pay for his next adventure into space. So.
Yeah, you gotta make him the money for his next dick rocket. So.
Oh God. I won't go there. So. Under the grounds that.
Well, you don't have to. You won't have to. Everybody saw it. Everyone knows it looked like a dick.
It might lead to my termination, so I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
That's okay. I don't work there. I can say that. So.
Yeah, you can say what you want. So,
my opinions
all hail
do
the
not
great dick riding Satan.
Opinions don't necessarily reflect the views of Jason Tucker and the Metalheads Unite program.
Right. Oh man. So anyway, you guys that do have a Spotify account, check out those playlists, and we're gonna, like I said, we're working on merch, and we're still working on the. So we got that app, and I think he said something about the Apple and all that stuff coming up in the next week or so. So
right.
Looking for that, and then of course the full rollout for the TV side with Roku and Amazon and Apple. All that should still be coming up here in just a couple of weeks. We had, like he said, he had to iron out a few more details for it. I was hoping to be out this week, but expectations sometimes gets pushed back. So we'll take it when we can get it. So
yeah, baby steps are still steps forward, and having our having our own app to where, everyone can access everything directly is a huge first step, actually. So,
Yeah.
hey, forward progress counts, no matter how slow it is. So,
All right. Any last words there, Chris, before we take off?
Just as always, want to thank everybody for coming by. We didn't have a whole lot of interaction in the live studio today. That's okay. I mean, we got Truly to wake up after, a couple hours, but that's fine. But but so we didn't have a whole lot going on in the live chat today, which is fine. But everybody who did listen live today, we appreciate it. Everybody who checks out one of the rebroadcasts, we appreciate that too. As always, check us out on the Metalheads Unite Facebook page. If you guys want to become members, come on by, send us a member request. We'll get you guys hooked up. We try to keep the content as fresh as we can over there. But once you become a member, everyone's free to contribute content however they want. Of course, we have final say on whether or not stuff stays on there. So, but you want to, submit, new music, favorite old music, either way is fine. But just thanks for everybody for checking us out, and we hope you guys download the app and enjoy that, and listen to us whenever you get a chance, and check out the other shows on the VOP USA network. You guys will be pleasantly surprised, I think. And in case anybody is curious, it is football Saturday, and Michigan is currently winning 24-7.
Well,
I don't know when Notre Dame plays yet, so I can't give a score update on that one.
Yeah, we play Sunday night for some reason. I don't know. We're playing Florida State on Sunday night, so I have no idea.
Oh, that should be a good game.
Be a good game. Yeah. So we'll see out the gate what we're made of. So
that's true.
So, all right. Well, like Chris said, we just appreciate everybody for joining us, whether you were in studio or, like I said, listening or live or listening later on. We appreciate it either way, and hope you guys stick around for all the big news coming up and everything. So, with that being said, we're going to close this one out for this week. We kind of went over a little bit, but that's all good because the boss is actually on here with us. He would have cut us off already. So, yeah. Thank you guys for stopping in, and until next week, hopefully we will be able to stay with the same time and same day. But if not, then we will let you know. Just kind of, like I said, kind of like the page and subscribe to the VOP, so you can kind of keep up for when we are going to go live. So. So, like again, thank you guys. I hope you guys see you guys next week. If anything, it may be a remote thing for me, but that's okay. Maybe I can include you guys in some of the stuff going on there. So that'd be pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
So anyway, till next week, keep those devil horns held high and jump in that pit anytime you can. See you guys right back here next week.
Thank you guys. Have a great week.
Poke him with a stick.
Yeah.
He's probably doing something else.
No, watch this. Bled for Days by Static X is a great song.
Oh, wow.
Damn, that didn't work either.
Must be a beta mishap.
Oh, no. Shit, not beta.